Welcome, gentlemen,
Sure.
to the new Fallen Meteor. Things are wacky, things are crazy. Everyone almost died. Malakai got down like 3 times. It was very funny. The cards have been rounded up, the cards have been stamped, but it seems that one card was not caught. The party is left wondering what exactly they're going to do moving forward now. They are all truly exhausted. So, what are we going to do? It's like 6 p.m. on a Sunday. It just got dark. Things are hard to see. Malakai just lectured a guard that got really pissy with him. So what's the plan? What are we doing?
You should mention the bonus meat in the cart.
I should. The what a great way of putting it. I forgot to mention last session. In addition to the salted meats and rations in the cart, there was a coffin or a casket. Technically, a casket, not a coffin. They're different.
All right.
So that's all I have to say about that.
I mean, they are different.
They are different. One of them's fancier than the other.
I'm now Googling it.
One of them's made out of wood and bare minimum, and the other
The other one's like nice and fancy.
the other one's tech deck.
Uh-huh. You skateboard on it. So what are we doing?
We were deciding whether Roger should take one of the horses and see if he can catch up to
Yeah,
the wagon, and then
Mm-hmm.
leave like signs behind
That's right.
in
Yep.
order for the party to
Yep.
follow.
Yep.
Yep.
So that could be a good idea, but it
think
also
that's
could
what we-
end in a similar situation to where we are now, but with 2 people being kidnapped.
This
Or-
if this was a show, Grudge would run off, and then it would just cut to him being thrown in the cart.
well, what if you didn't exactly catch up to them, but like kept them within
I mean, yes.
range until they stopped for the night or wherever, because they can't keep going. It's already 7.
That
Last
would be like suicidal to just run in. So it would definitely be trailing them.
Also, how are they traveling? Are they releasing a bunch of light themselves?
They're
'cause it is
traveling
not-
by cart, so they can only really travel along the road. And I imagine they have to have some type of light.
So it might be easier to track them. Yeah.
And if worse comes to worse and I can't find them, I could also just wait for you guys to show back up. Like, just along the road or whatever.
Yeah, I think we were. Would you have to? I don't know how Trevor's gonna want us to do this. If you were to teach us something in your rogue's language, would we have to like take some level of time to learn it, or would you just draw a symbol?
It would
And
just
we just
probably
like,
be a
okay.
symbol. Guess that is a Trevor question then.
Yeah, my mom walked in, so get pranked. Trevor question
Teacher,
about all the
teacher,
symbol to draw?
teacher.
Yeah.
Teacher.
What's the question?
If we teach them the symbol, is that gonna take time, or can I just be like, it's a circle with a line through it?
It's gonna take as much time as complicated as the symbol is. So I mean,
All
if
right,
it's a
watch
line with a
this.
circle in it, then you know.
Because I
Right.
think it should be something that even if people see it, they won't be like, "Oh, it's clearly a marker." It could be something that's like you have to be looking for it.
Easy. I understand this. All right, I'm starting the timer, and I'm gonna draw the symbol.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna share it with the class once you've drawn it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, 2, 1, and speedrun.
Trevor making these noises while he's leaning down in the dirt of the path.
Oh, it's so perfect. 10 seconds, easy. It's also so decipherable.
Uh-huh.
I'm also casually believing that that's the language he's using.
Look at that.
I can't pull that up on the screen because it has personal information. Also, what am I looking at? Here's what I'll do. All right, I'm gonna copy this so that the audience at home can see the monstrosity.
I don't see personal information. I
This
just
is.
see.
This is. What is this?
So the idea here.
Did you post it in the fridge?
I should post it in campaign chat. Let me get on that so everyone
Um,
can see it.
I don't have
Just
access to
read
campaign
it.
chat. Oh wait, hold on, never mind.
Yeah,
Here, I
you
got it.
do.
No, it's fine.
I'll
The
just-
idea here is that it's gonna look like one of those teens things where they write that they love each other. This is a bee.
What am I looking at?
Oh,
I
so you
get it.
wanted, so you wanted to look like
This is what it would look like if I wasn't speed running it.
That's still
That's
not a
not a heart.
heart, Nick.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. Look how perfect that one is.
Yeah, that one's so good. Let me pull it up. It's so much better.
well.
Hmm.
In fairness, how educated are the people?
Hey.
Of the world?
Listen, it's not that hard to do.
Their handwriting may not be that good.
Look at Malakai is really showing his.
Well,
his
it's gonna be like
Hebrewness.
it's gonna be like etched into wood with a knife, so it's not gonna be like this precise. It's gonna be all
You
like
know, Ventosh went to college. I mean,
Oh
I
no,
think,
Steam, War Thunder! Ah, War Thunder just got pulled up on stream.
oh no, how scandalous.
How scandalous indeed.
Can't handle us. Anyway, that took 10 seconds.
Congrats.
So
That definitely took a minute to communicate. So a minute of time has passed. Let me mark it on the schedule. It's now 6:18
what?
p.m.
oh,
Alright. So this will be like etched in on trees or something, or like the front of like a wall.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Alright. Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm. Now what?
I'm off like a bullet.
Off how?
I'm gonna ride the horse.
What horse?
The
One
horse
of
is right
those.
there.
One of those that remains.
Which one?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm rolling a d4.
Yeah.
You've done this.
I have done this.
I missed the d4 button twice.
Roll on animal handling while you're at it.
1,
We'll roll on animal handling.
85, 14.
85.
So it's the horse in the top,
Top left, you
and I
roll
got a
animal handling
14.
at 14. He looks skittish, but he's a lean little man.
I guess that
He's
works.
startled.
Do we still have the prisoners, by the way?
You do. They're on the ground, I believe, tied up, I think.
They magically disappeared.
yeah, they're tied up.
With rope that was dead.
Oh, I can finally get rid of the 150
Think
pounds
this
of
guy's-
rope.
Yeah, congrats. Alright, so
How-
you are
how
riding the
victorious.
top horse, correct? The top left horse?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright. Takes you a little bit of time. It doesn't seem like it's used to being ridden. Problem, no saddle.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So you're just gonna
I'm yoked.
You're yoked. Alright, great. Well, with a 14 animal handling check, you have a little bit of trouble. You rig the bridle from the carriage and get it unhooked up, and after 30 or so seconds, you are on your way. Away you go.
Alright. Any percent glitchless.
Uh-huh.
I'm gone now, I guess.
I guess you're gone. So, do we want to follow Grounder, or do we want to follow everyone else? What do we want to start with?
Dun.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's leave Grounder to do Grounder thing for now.
Roger thing. Okay.
You might have a little bit of writing to do before anything of interest happens.
Honestly, I think I'm all out. Like after that fight, I have nothing left. So short of taking a long rest, I don't know what else we could do.
Is that John or Malakai talking?
I don't know. I started the accent and then I stopped, and so I'm confused too.
Okay. Well, Meteor's gonna walk up and go, "You okay?
Not really.
I forgot your name.
Oh, it's Malakai.
That's a hard name.
You can call me.
Malakai.
It's alright. You can call me Kai.
Hi.
Okay.
You look tired. I think that what tired looked like. Kingy, that what tired look like? And he points at Mel.
Can I I don't know information? How do I just look at Malakai
Oh,
and
you
be
gotta
like,
do, you gotta do a perception/medicine check to tell whether he's in fact tired.
do I really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Get pranked.
All right,
Not like it's
perception.
Not like it's a
I guess
high
Alright.
AC.
investigation could work too.
All right, well, it's a 2 for perception,
A
and
2?
then yeah,
What the heck are you on? Alright.
and then medicine
Yeah, go ahead.
a 7.
Alright. Yeah, he looked tired. You are not the expert, but he looks exhausted.
Yeah, he's tired.
Oh. And then what happens when you get when I forget what I would say.
Have you ever
What
had
happens
a dream
where you went? Yeah.
when
How trained are Cedar and Samantha?
Is that a me question? Is it a group? Again, Malakai or John here?
Could be good.
Okay.
Fine. How trained are the horses? Do we have to go over there and get them, or do we just whistle?
I've been here for like 2 days. Not even. I don't know.
I think Roger do good with horse, but he left.
That's unfortunate.
I don't know how horse work.
Dude, do you know?
You get no response.
We can try.
This
Can
may
they-
have been disastrous.
How horse work?
Well,
Yeah, he's done eating, taking out the trash and stuff. Too bad his character's catatonic. Hee hee.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll fill him in.
So Malachi's gonna go over to the horses and try to lead them over.
Classic animal handling check, please.
Huh? Big money.
What do you want?
19.
Oh wow, that is big money. All right. Your presence seems to tranquilize the horses who were startled on their own, and they immediately begin following you after being scared during all of the chaos that just occurred. And you lead them forward. And now you are in front of the guards, or kind of just in the road.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. And you have the other wagons that are also kind of blocking the road.
Yeah. Is there any forest or good place to camp around here, or?
There is. Not immediately, because I'm pretty sure now that it's dark, you got crappy dark vision, and crappy dark vision don't really. Yeah, crappy dark vision don't help you. All that's around you currently is field, trees, or no trees, just open field, some meadow to the left of you, and the rock wall of the valley that you're passing between.
Can I take out one of my arrows and just cast light?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we see?
Well, isn't that like the 40 feet of bright, 40 feet of dim?
30, I think.
That won't really help you anymore because you still only have like 60 feet of vision. I mean, your immediate vicinity is grass, meadow, and rock wall between valleys. Ridges of rock, no trees. So you'd have to move around to be able to further explore the area.
Okay. So I say to the others, I suggest we set up for the night.
are we sure we want to rest? I agree that we are tapped. I am tapped as well, but is it a good idea to leave Roger out there? Should we at least try to follow him?
Okay.
I can follow. I'm fast.
You could also get him killed.
You're also loud.
No,
How
I can be quiet like this. I
Okay.
don't use quiet voice much.
Oh God. So let's say I guess if we go at like a regular pace, following in the wagon, but we should take some of the meat and stuff, right?
Are these wagons better than the one we have? They are, right? Like
They
they're
are
more.
larger.
think
They're
because they're
bulkier.
bigger.
So they might
Huh.
not be as fast.
Oh,
But now we could have more horses, so we could go faster.
that's
Perhaps.
true. If we can rig them together.
The only problem is the wagon that you have only has a harness for 2 horses.
Right.
But these carriages, what harness do they have?
Same
Well,
2-horse harness. It's longer.
I take it that this cart contains the equipment of your friend. That shouldn't be too hard to put in our cart, but the meat, that would be a limiter. Plus, there's the matter of the casket. We
What
need.
casket?
Should we investigate that?
Yeah, but while Ventosh mentions the casket, one of the guard goes, "Yeah, what are you gonna do with a woman that was executed by your friend?"
Oh, that answers that question.
Wait, executed?
That's what I was told.
What else were you told?
Not much. I didn't see it
Hmm.
myself.
Wait, say that again?
He said, "Not much. I didn't see it myself."
Hmm.
And he
But
says,
you heard but you heard about it when this happened.
"A few days ago."
Mm-hmm. A few days ago. I'd like to walk up to this one guard.
Okay.
I'd like to he's like on the floor, correct?
He's kneeling down, but he's looking up at you, just kind of confused.
Now, you're sure you heard this a few days ago?
You're literally gonna make me pull out my DM schedule. So I can assure you that he's giving you an accurate time code.
Oh,
as
he
to when
is?
it happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm the DM.
I'm trying to probe him for more information. Be
I'm
like,
sorry, Julie. I
are
don't
you
remember
sure?
what exact day it happened on when Kelly accidentally nuked some guy on a Friday night.
No,
I think
I was
that's
trying to
what it
probe him
was.
for more information and be like, who told you?
Hold on. I'm pulling up the logs. We'll get to that. Let me tell you
Technically, was
exactly what day it was. It's
Technically, was that
Sunday.
yesterday?
It's Sunday night. It might have happened on Friday night. I'm looking at the logs. I'm scoping things out.
It may have been Saturday.
It was D&D VOD 6, which if we
Who
look
did-
at the time
who-
schedule, it happened
who did
Saturday
it?
night. So it was
Saturday.
last
It's
night.
only
It
been a
was
day,
yesterday.
yeah.
It's only
I
been a
vote for
day.
murder.
Okay. Anyway, the guard says, yesterday, last night in the Coliseum. Like I said, I wasn't there. Henry, who was there, is now dead. You killed him.
Oh, wow. Kill's a very interesting word. I prefer to use unlived myself.
I also think if you're attacking us, you don't get the higher ground of saying you killed him. You
Killing-
created a wall.
Killing
you
is
blocked
killing.
the path.
I admit that
Where
we were
is
hired-
she?
I admit that we were hired to kill you. But the point stands. Henry's dead.
And by your man's hand as well. That archmage did that himself. That was not our problem at all. It was a
Certainly was
fireball.
our problem.
Exactly. A fireball did that to him, not us.
What do you think I'm talking about?
Wait, Henry was the
Nope.
big guy with the horse, right?
Nope.
Horst
That's Captain Horfrost.
or Frost. There you go.
I don't know who Henry is.
He's just a guard that you guys executed.
I thought his name was Louis or Louis.
That was another one. Who would have thought you killed multiple guards? Remember how there were 12 guards and now there's only 4? Yeah, they all have names.
What?
Crazy.
No.
Yeah.
Just execute the rest of them.
All right, fine. We don't have time for this. And obviously, you all were not prepared for the
Our awesome
occupation
power.
Exactly, nor the occupation that you joined. If you are going to align yourselves with power-hungry people, there will be death
Align
involved.
ourselves.
Suck it up
You think I
and
have
get
a
delivered.
choice? Are you joking, pretty boy?
No, technically, he is right. You do have a choice. You could have been like an aristocrat, or you could have been, well, not an aristocrat. You could have been a merchant. You could have had some skill in trade. You could have been a farmer for all we care, but you chose violence. You woke up and chose violence, buddy.
Man really rolled up and said,
You
could
really
have
have
been
no
rich.
idea how things work, do you?
No, I really don't. But
You
then
could-
again, I am a talking dragonborn, so, you know.
You could have gone to college.
No, I
True.
couldn't have. The
I
colleges are
understand.
locked off to the social elite. The merchant guilds are controlled with an iron fist. The only option I have is starvation or military conscription. And I
Or
chose
farm.
conscription. I
Oh.
couldn't farm. My family didn't own land. The tracts are sealed off by the noble houses. I had no options. I was born in squalor. And now I
Damn.
get lectured by nobles.
Alexa, play tiny violins.
First in education, tiny violin.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, listen. You have my sympathy, guard, but listen. We're going easy on you, but once again, Malachi, my acquaintance Malachi here makes a good point. We are both in very dangerous positions where people will die that we care about. So it's something we have to live with.
I understand that.
Then maybe we could put aside our differences and we'll.
I don't think we really have differences. It's nothing personal. Although,
Oh.
frankly, I don't think that Harold is going to forgive you for killing Lewis.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about this Harold character.
Well, I don't know him very well. Harold
Listen.
wants to
Harold,
speak,
like,
he can speak. And
over there, like,
it's
he's
literally
like-
just this guy. And
Oh.
he's just silent.
Oh,
just
sorry,
waiting for
I
it.
wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention.
Okay,
It's not-
so Captain Horfrost was the guy on the horse, and he's dead.
Yes.
This guy, I don't know this guard's name. I think it was said, but I don't remember it. Lewis was the guy on the carriage steering the horses that was killed like immediately after combat, and then Harold is like his brother or something, and he's right there.
Yeah, behind this guy.
Yeah.
Face down,
So-
not talking.
Well, you know, I think enough damage has been done tonight. I will give you a blessing from Bahamut, and I will be on my way. If anyone else wants to talk to these guards, so be it.
I will say one thing to you all. I understand your plight, and I am on your side. It is my intention to change the way that things work in Lucine. It was not the way it was before, and it is the way it is now. But if I am killed, you will never see the change that you hope to see.
You
So
will be
unfortunately-
killed.
Well, thank you for your optimism, and I walk off.
What are you doing with us? Yeah.
I'm giving you what?
What do we do with them? Do we kill?
Well,
No, we're not killing them.
I'm
confused.
Is kill bad?
Kill is bad sometimes.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand and start untying their ropes,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say we are giving you the option of joining us or leaving this area before we take you out.
The guards are just kind of looking around like they're not exactly sure how to handle the situation. A couple seconds pass by, and then they look back, and the one guard starts to bum rush you. It's the guy who was yelling at you and spit on you before, and then the other two guards grab him and hold him back. And he just yells, "Bastard! Bastard!"
Master.
Yeah.
Master.
And then they just kind of start whispering amongst themselves.
This is our opportunity to give you freedom. You're right. In Lucine, you did not have a choice. But here, you are free. You can go anywhere. You don't have to return to Lucine.
Make
Not until
a
it's paid back.
persuasion roll.
Uh, 13.
All right. Well, after a short discussion, one of the guards, the guard to the basically this guy here, speaks up and says, "Can we take a wagon?"
Where will you be headed?
I don't know yet. Chances are we'll be dead.
As long as you don't follow us. I look to the others and I say, what do you think?
Would you take the corpse?
If we're caught with that, maybe we should just walk.
Well, we'll be taking the equipment, probably some of the food, but I doubt we'll have room for all of it. And we don't have the manpower to manage 3 carts at the same time, especially with only 1 horse on one of them.
We can take the horses, but if we're caught with a cart, we also might need changes of clothes. If they find out we defected, then they'll come for our families.
Can I give them some gold?
Yes.
By gold, I mean silver, because we don't play that.
Uh-huh. Gracious.
I'm gonna give them. How much is like common folk clothes?
I don't know. The D&D
Just
economy is in
clothes.
shambles. Let's find out.
Clothes, common, gear.
No, I don't
Half
wear
a,
it.
half a gold piece.
Yeah,
They're
half a
5
gold,
silver.
5 silver.
You said 5 silver?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then I would have to give them 25 silver. Okay. Wait, 20 silver. Sorry, it's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I give it to them.
Okay. The main guard's gonna take it, and then, ow, here one of the guys, probably Harold, the other guy in the back says, "I'm not taking money from this slime." And then they just kind of shove him along, and they're gonna start grabbing the horses.
As they go, I say to Harold, I know what it is like to lose a brother. And I'm sorry I can't bring yours back. But what I can ask you to do is to live. Live in a way that would make him proud.
Roll for persuasion with disadvantage.
Great. Eight.
You hear a mild scoff. And then they take the horses, the 3 remaining, and the one goes up to the other guy and says, "Crenshaw." And then he kind of beckons for him to get on, and then he looks up at the horse, and then he looks back at Malakai, and he shakes his head, and then he sort of steps back over by the other cart, and then they just kind of shrug, and then they take off, riding to the north. And now you know this guy's name. Where's the blue color? Other thing is. All right. Oh, he's big. He shouldn't be big.
Large.
He should not be big mode. No large Crenshaw. Where did he get saved to? Get him out of here. All right. So Crenshaw walks up to Malakai and says, "I don't think I have any hope of. Well, I think they're dead. So I'd rather die trying to actually overturn this insane monarchy than die getting chased down like an animal."
We welcome your help, friend.
I don't know if I'm ready to be called that yet, but let's just say I'm at your service.
As you wish. Alright, let's follow Groja.
He's tracking them, right?
Yes.
Not going to encounter much resistance. The forward line was set up, and that was most of what we had. If I had to guess, it's the remaining driver, whose name I don't know, and I think Benjamin was assigned to that cart, if he's still on it. I didn't see him in the formation, but I haven't exactly looked around at all the corpses here. Part of me doesn't want to know.
Understood.
Random question, Trevor. So they took my 20 gold, but only 3 of them are using it?
This guy gives you the money back.
Okay, perfect. Cool.
5 silver.
Let's have the rich stay rich.
Yep, uh-huh.
Alright.
Well, that changes things a little bit. If they're weak, maybe we should press our advantage.
Yes.
The only thing I would be worried about is I didn't see what happened to Miserum.
Mitherum.
Yeah, one of the wizards.
Tiefling fellow?
Yeah, real pale old guy. Creepy looking.
I did not much care for him.
I don't either. He
Was
terrifies
he the
me.
one? Was he the one who was on top of the cliff?
Yeah, I didn't see him during the fight, but he was supposed to set up there to blockade you guys. That's what the entire plan hinged around.
I don't. I don't know if Grudja told us what happened with him. Grudja was facing him, wasn't he?
Yes.
He's a I don't exactly know that much about the magic arts. In training, they teach us whatever we can. The reason I got in for reference is I have some ability.
As most of us in Lucine do.
Yeah, but Miserum's on another level.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he outranks Hoarfrost by a lot.
All right. Well, I think we cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's see how far they've got. And who knows, maybe they've stopped for the night and we can get the jump on them.
Maybe. There is one slight problem. You guys know anything about, I think they call it anti-magic fields?
I'm going to roll an Arcana check, see if I know.
Probably a good idea.
Wait, hold on. I think I rolled that with disadvantage. Hold on.
19.
All right, you take it then.
Well, Ventosh probably knows.
I'm familiar with it.
Meteor goes, "Can I guess what it is?
Sure,
Yeah.
big man.
Is
Good
that
idea.
is that when there's a bubble and it makes it so you can't do the thing?"
Man,
That
Less said
is
than expected.
that is essentially what it is. The thing being casting of spells. I'm fairly certain when they loaded the witch into the wagon. I don't know if it was Miserum or Hoarfrost or maybe it was part of the wagon itself. Something's weird about him. I don't think that same field is around these two. And he points to the wagons that are remaining. He says, I'm fairly certain they did something to lock her in. And I really mean lock her in. You're not just going to open it up with a key to the padlock. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Oh,
Yo.
Moon Dude exits his catatonic state. And around him are talking a group of individuals to one of the guards who is apparently just having a casual conversation with the rest of the party.
Oh.
And he says, the thing that you hear mid-conversation as your consciousness springs back into you is not going to open it with just a padlock and a key.
Moondu just looks around.
Well, that is a bit of an issue. But there's nothing that defeats security more like having unlimited physical access, right?
So you're saying that this anti-magic field is just probably on the cart?
I think so.
All right. So it doesn't mean that we can't attack the others.
No. Or,
Okay.
Yes. I didn't understand the phrasing. It's not going to stop you from doing damage. But
Okay.
if preferred, one, the drivers are harmless. Two, Benjamin is 17. So, if possible, can we not,
Cut to Garage screaming and stabbing him.
Fine. We cannot promise anyone safety. That
Right.
must be known.
Right.
But we can try.
All right. What are we doing with these wagons?
Our Cagliari? Did we take Cagliari's weapons out of the one on the right?
I don't know. Did you?
Not
Just
yet,
say
but that
yes.
is the plan.
Okay,
Just
so
say yes.
Just say yes. Everybody forgot and just stood around and was hoping the work
We
got
just
done,
went-
but it didn't get done.
Oh,
It was
it's there!
mentioned a couple
Wow.
times,
Oh,
but
crazy.
we can always stick with the guards. So.
take a few pieces of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
You have to
I mean-
specify which meat. Is it the bonus meat or the other meat?
Bonus meat.
The dead body meat?
The
what
bonus
do we
meat.
do with the bonus meat?
It's the worst phrasing. Bonus meat.
No, we're just gonna go for the. Was it dried? You said.
Yeah. That's like jerky.
Okay. We'll
Similar to
take
what
some-
most rations are like in this day and age.
What about the edible meat?
No. Not answering that question. Alright, so we're loading up, I'm guessing.
How would I put that in
Yes.
inventory? By the way.
Just let Roger do it because he has the wagon. So you can just take probably 50 rations and just dump it into your wagon.
Okay.
Because that's probably as much as you'd want to carry. And is probably, in fact, most of what they are carrying anyway.
Sweet.
I'll leave Grouger to do that.
All right. So we load up.
Yep.
We load up, and then we start following. I'll sit at the back of the wagon as usual, kind of obscured.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using minor illusion as I sit.
Well, Kingy, Moon Dude, are either of you good at dealing with horses, or are we
Oh,
just
is
gonna have to wing it?
Roger not around?
Roger's
he
not
left.
around.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't know where Grodger is?
Are you
Where's
okay?
Grodger?
All right.
Grodger showed me a little bit.
Roger's scouting ahead, following the Lucinians. I don't even know what we're called. The people of Lucine, and we're going to follow him. He's left a trail for us to follow.
All right.
I haven't driven a carriage, but I've ridden horses, so I could give it a shot.
Thank you, Crenshaw.
Moondude will move up to one of the two driving positions.
All right, he's next to Crenshaw. Crenshaw looks over at him and he goes, "The mask. You doctor?"
Doesn't respond.
Okay. All right, whatever. All right, well, Kingy and Ventosh, I'm guessing, are going in the wagon as well.
Yeah, if there's room with all
Yep.
the stuff.
Only
in
it's
there now.
only Meteor that has to walk, poor little man. So we're loaded up.
Yeah.
Krantosh attempts an animal handling check. Oof. And it's good enough. Although, Mundo, you should probably do an animal handling check too. Just
Jeez, hold on. Oh my gosh.
You
hold
got
on,
this,
You're the
champ.
guy. You're the guy.
D&D Beyond collections, my
You're the guy.
characters,
You're the
My
guy.
cat.
the lunatic cult test,
I looked at your sheet. You're good to go, man. You're right.
Got
Animal
+4. Yeah,
handling.
that's good. Oh,
8.
yep. You rolled worse than
All right,
Crenshaw.
well,
All right, good
you
thing
know.
a Crenshaw rolled a 14.
Who
All right, cool. And we are off. Moondude attempts to calm the horses.
You're off.
Does not work. They're off. All right. And we begin making our way down the path, past the abandoned wagons
Play the
after
song.
taking Cagliari's stuff. Now we make our way forward. A meteor follows. Meteor says, "One day can I ride a wagon?
Yes.
Yeah, one day.
When can I ride a wagon?"
One day.
We'll let you know that day.
One day when it's not important.
when there's nobody else in it.
Ooh, also that.
Why everyone special except me have walk?
What did you say?
He said, "Why everyone special except me have walk?"
Because you are the strongest. And you're
You're
able
also
He's the strongest warrior.
Yeah. You can run faster than our horses.
Oh yeah, that's true. I can go fast.
Also, do you get tired?
I don't think so. I think Malakai get tired, but I don't get like Malakai. Do I look like Malakai?
No.
No.
Only a little.
Say yes. Say
Yeah,
yes.
I probably don't get tired.
It'd be really funny.
All right.
Okay, well.
And you're off. And now we check in with the greatest detective, the coolest guy in the place.
Hold up, my
Uh-huh.
Adventurer's Log, Day 5.
What do we got going on, Grouger?
I would like to roll a survival check.
Of course. Coolest guy.
18.
You are surviving. What are you attempting to do, by the way?
I'm tracking the wagon.
Tracking the wagon. All right. Well,
I
listen.
imagine in some capacity it's just going down the road, but like
In
I'm looking
some
for tracks.
capacity,
Maybe
it
if they
is-
just like veer off
it
and like
is
hide
just
behind a
going-
bush.
Sure. Looking for tracks outside the road. Yep. Okay.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Do you have a light source? Is that a
Okay.
no?
Do you want the long or the short answer?
Give me the best answer you can give me without wasting my time.
I have a tinderbox and a book.
Oh.
Do I have a light source? No.
Okay. So you're
But I
riding in
do
the dark.
have night vision.
Do you have night vision? Why is that? Why do you have night? Because half elf? Elf have night? Yeah, I guess okay. Well, your horse don't have night vision.
Yeah, I'm driving it.
Okay. Alright, well, it's going a little bit slower because it's not the most confident. Now, granted, for a while, you're in the moonlight and things are going okay because it's not like pitch black. Problem is, it's not for long before you ride into a forest. And then things get dark because it gets dense real fast and you're no longer just riding by the moonlight, you're riding by little streaks of moonlight that are streaking down onto the path every now and again, and you're hoping that it's still dirt when you look at where the moonlight's hitting and not in fact grass so that you don't get lost in the forest. So it's a good thing you rolled an 18 on that survival check.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you,
Honestly, just built different.
honestly built different, hard enough to actually stay on the path, let even trying to track a cart. From what you've seen, you've stayed on the path. It's pretty wide, so it's not the hardest thing to follow. And you're fairly certain that you're on track with where this cart's going, especially because you're not seeing any easy opportunity for this cart to veer off the path because of the density of the forest picking up. Not an easy veer off the path. Are you going to be making any markings? Because I know that was discussed.
Is there like a tree that's like really close to the road?
Every now and again, there is a tree that is uncomfortably close to the road, and its roots kind of spill out onto the dirt.
All right, we go there.
Go there.
I type the symbol. I mean, I
Sim-
carve the symbol.
Of course. Make for me a crafting check.
I am pretty much the most crafting guy.
Basically the most craftingest guy.
5.
5. Alright, it looks like the first.
Hold on, can I roll for cool?
You cannot roll for cool. I need to pull up the image that you put the first time that I put. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it looks like this. This is what you drew. So, congrats.
That's
It
pretty
looks good.
decipherable.
It's pretty decipherable. Yeah, it's great. You carve that onto a tree and you move on the wayward path. Been riding a while, and you haven't seen any obvious sign of the wagon itself. You anticipate that it would be giving off light with a lantern or something. So if it's on the path, it's not like it's going to be able to avoid you. But for a while of riding, nothing quite yet.
This would be crazy if I had like eyes like an eagle.
Would be crazy if you had eyes like me. Too bad you don't. Roll for me a perception check, please.
Ooh, I'm okay at those.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Good. 18. That is good. That is brilliant. Rolled the wrong die.
I could have had advantage on that.
Could have. 18. Okay. This is weird. Wow, this is going to be funny. Okay. So picture this.
Gunshot.
Not a gunshot. No. You see something flickering in the moonlight. Flickering, maybe not flickering is not the right word. Shining in the moonlight. It's a pot. Like one you would find on a stove. A cooking pot, exactly. And it's just off the path. Like maybe 10 or 20 feet off the path, and it was just a reflection of the moonlight falling through the leaves at just the right angle, and your eye caught a glimpse of it. You thought it was a leaf at first, just shining in the night, but no. No, it's a pot. And clearly there's an old campsite off the road. What do you want to do?
I just continue going forward. I'm gonna go investigate.
Of course, he's gonna go investigate the campsite. All right, so you veer off the road.
Okay, goes, hey, you find this thing. I completely ignore it. Keep moving.
You investigate campsite. All right, are you staying on your horse? You getting off your horse? What are you doing now?
This is a good question. I don't exactly trust Samuel. I'm gonna stay on the horse.
Okay, so you're staying on the horse, just kind of taking it into the woods. All right, because
Sure.
if that is the case, once you get to the dense part of the trees, the horse just kind of goes and then sort of puts its foot down like it doesn't want to go further because it can't see.
As opposed to its foot, all of its feet staying up. Understandable.
You know the thing.
I guess I'm tying it up, and I'll do my best to put it on the bush thing.
Put it on the bush thing. Classic. Put it on the bush thing. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. That's dumb. I was almost going to because it would be fun. You tie it up. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and it seems pretty well trained. So even though your knot is kind of crappy, it knows what's up, so it's gonna stick around.
It recognizes my powers.
It recognizes your power. It responds to power. So you begin looking at this camp.
Oh,
being a detective.
He says that's why I need this horse.
Lots of detecting to do. I take off my headphones because dog tape was anything I didn't get it anyway. One problem. Your culprit, whatever you're tracking, not so sure that this is their camp. This camp looks kind of old. Not like 3 months old, but like a few days old. The pot is weathered. The pot has water in it. And you remember it rained recently. So that tells you whoever used this pot hasn't come back for it. The rainwater just collected in it. You know, the fire coals are completely gone out. It's just charcoal. And then you look around and you see an old tent. Like a little A-frame tent, I guess you'd call it. One of those classics, just kind of pitched near the back between a cluster of trees. Somewhat off of the small clearing where the pot is and the little fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
So?
I'm gonna move over to the tent, but quietly.
Roll for me a stealth check.
I am pretty much the most non-stealthy guy. I missed the stealth button.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
Sucks.
You're not the quietest. Now, there's a little bit of wind tonight, so the natural forest ambience is helping you, but you're not really doing your best. You're approaching the tent, and you don't get a response or see anything that makes you jump. You're on guard. First thing you notice is an unpleasant smell.
This guy's dead.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna peek in the tent.
Peek in the tent, and there is the body of a human woman that has been stabbed several times. It is not a fresh corpse, but judging by the decomposition, it has been there for a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
The stab wounds are numerous. She's laying on her back, so her chest is pressed into the ground, so her back is exposed to the open air, and her neck is kind of turned. Her head is turned over to the right. And there are, as you're counting, at least 15 stab wounds in her back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there anybody is there anything I'm gonna scan now around me? Is there any signs of someone lying in wait?
Looking around.
And also the stab wounds, they're like stab wounds. They look like knives.
Yes.
Okay. Or
They do.
some type of bladed weaponry and not claws, teeth, etc.
Correct.
Chopsticks.
Correct. What's notable is her clothes are pretty tattered. They look like commoners' clothes that have been worn down and then supplemented with animal skin pelts. It's difficult to identify the stab wounds on the back because most of the blood has been absorbed by those pelts that are around her chest, basically like a vest. But you can identify them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Indeed.
I'm gonna go closer and see if there's anything hidden in the tent.
Okay.
Oh boy, if it's a sign. I'm gonna go.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. So you're looking around for hidden things in the tent?
Yeah.
Do an investigation roll.
I'm wasting so much time. 22.
Okay. You scour the tent, which is mostly empty. There's not really anything of note on the floor. It looks like there were some more cooking utensils that got left. Left here. There's a cooking knife, which you're like, is that the stab wound? But there's no blood on it. It's clear that this was done probably with a hunting knife or something similar, because the wound is pretty severe. There's a little fork, a little wooden fork, like a stirring fork, and a wooden ladle. But turning around the tent as well as sort of tossing over the body carefully, it doesn't look like there's anything hidden here. Although around the neck of the woman there is a tooth necklace with assorted animal teeth. Look like foxes, maybe a bear, because it's pretty big.
This will give me power.
Could be a bear pelt, possibly.
I'm gonna take the necklace and then leave.
Okay.
I gotta get back to Samuel now.
All right. Anything else you want to do, or are you hitting the road again?
I gotta hit the road again.
Okay. Road again. Oof. All right, onward we carry. You lost a few minutes investigating there, but you pick back up. Make for me. I even want you to roll anything. I kind of think you've done enough rolling.
Whoa! Hey, look at that.
That's crazy. Wow, that's not what you see though. You do a little bit more riding. trying to stick to the path. The forest opens up a little bit to a field on the on your left. But it's not long before it gets a little bit more dense, although the path is curving. As you reach the opening, you see what is very clearly a lantern light for what is obviously the remaining wagon.
I have all my gear. Interesting indeed.
Can he tell if they're slamming it or are they like a normal pace?
That's a good
Can I
question.
tell if they're slamming it or going at like a normal pace?
They're not slamming it, but they're going more than a normal pace. They're going fast.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Alright, I'm gonna like ride slower, like slow enough to keep up with them.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow like, I don't know, 60 feet back.
Okay. Well, they
And
won't be
Samuel's
able to
gonna
hear
get
you.
down on all fours and break into a sprint.
Yeah, they won't be able to hear you because the wagon is making a lot.
And I'll
Probably
gain
won't be
on
able
them.
to see you because it's dark. But make me a stealth check.
Is there a like? Is the back of the carriage have like a grate in it? Natural 20.
Nice. Does it have a grate in it?
Yeah, like is there like a window or something like?
A very small one. Near
Just
the
like
top.
Brian does.
It's not like a whole window. Little grate.
Is there like stairs on the back?
Yes. There's not stairs per se, but there's a ledge that's clearly meant for standing on.
Okay, noted.
Of course, you can see this because they have a light that is illuminating down into the carriage, but you are in darkness.
What if I just did it? What if I got crazy?
Uh-oh. This is the part where Roger kills two innocent men.
Go stupid.
What if I go stupid? What if I go crazy? Alright. Alright.
I say go for it, but I'm not.
Alright. I'm going for it. I'm riding at them now. Samuel's
sprint.
going as fast as Samuel's ever gone in Samuel's life.
Full sprint. All right, well, roll initiative.
I'm rolling Samuel.
Just a question: how far back are we?
Yes.
84 years.
Always.
For some reason, I thought this would be spaghetti western music.
Nope.
Alright.
I turned on music myself, and this mixes so well. It's so weird.
All right. What do we got, Roger?
I'm gaining on them.
What do we got for
Oh,
initiative?
18.
Okay, you're up first.
Shia LaBeouf.
Well, you said you're 60 feet back, right?
Yeah.
So conveniently, that's your horse's movement speed. Bazinga, you're there.
Alright. I'm gonna jump off the horse.
Of course you are. Make me an acrobatics check.
This is the one thing I can do.
This is the one thing you can do.
21.
He is vaulted over the horse, jumping off of its back as its legs buckle somewhat down, lowering its front back. Roger vaults off and grapples with his hands at the top of the carriage and his feet firmly planted on the ledge.
Okay. No, if I could do something actually disastrous, this would be crazy. I'm gonna throw my boomerang at the back of the horse's head.
Okay. Great.
Roll for boomerang. Ooh,
You get the hit.
boomerang's gone. 8.
Yeah, 8's not gonna do it. That's a miss. Although, doesn't it come back to you if you miss?
I would depend, but yeah, I guess it might.
Alright, well, let's,
Well, what? Because we're going forward, so it would go back to where I threw it.
You would intercept it.
What's this advanced trigonometry science?
No, let's do a fun thing. Let's do a fun thing with this boomerang. If you miss with the boomerang, roll a. What should you roll? It should have like a chance of coming back to you. So let's say.
Only there was a luck stat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like a cool guy stat.
Cool guy stat. I'm trying to think because let's say. Alright, here's what I got figured out. Here's what I got, Nick. Nick, this is, no, Nick, this is perfect. This is literally perfect. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do for the boomerang coming back. I'm gonna subtract what you rolled from the AC that you needed to hit. Right? Based on how far off that is, you're gonna need to roll a 20 minus the difference, or higher, or lower, and that will be whether the boomerang returns. So roll the d20.
I'm working on it.
Okay, I was just gonna say, reading it, it just says on the miss, it comes back to throw his hand.
Okay, well then let's just do that.
Oh, we win! We win!
As long as you don't get like an 18, 19, or 20, it comes back to you.
Alright,
Okay.
it's back.
Whatever, it's back. I don't care.
No.
I think
got an
that's
8.
funny. That's fine. We'll just go with what the book says. I don't know if I actually have rules for it. It's pretty funny.
I've never read past the word boomerang.
I'm sure you didn't. Alright. Well, is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna roll. Can I hide?
Yes. You can.
I'm gonna hide.
Alright.
24.
Okay. Great. The driver, or one of the drivers, just looks back and goes, "What in the blazes?" And then he kind of like looks back and he sees nothing. And he goes, "Oh, there's a horse back there. It's one of ours. He's run off. You think they've been killed?" And then the other guy goes, "Certainly hope not, but I have a feeling it didn't look good when we left." Yo, I didn't say you could play another song. No, this is the skateboarder music. You can't just play the skateboarder music.
I do a tech deck on one guy's neck.
Alright, we're going back to the skateboarder music. You're back up, Crouch. Do the tech deck.
Alright. I'm just gonna drop down in between them now. And
Alright.
okay, now I'm gonna fall more on the guy on the right, so like the driver that's probably not holding the reins, and see if like he goes off like when I like land on him.
Oh, you're trying to like shove him off?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do like a shove attack.
Shove attack?
Yeah. That's
I cast shove.
You don't cast shove. I don't read how shove works. It's so rare. Okay, yeah, he can make athletics or acrobatics, and you gotta make athletics. Chooses acrobatics, he rolls an 11.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, athletics? I'm a really athletic guy. This is awful. I rolled a 3.
You go up to the reins and you try to push the guy off, and he just holds his ground, surprised, and you are now in between the two drivers who were staring at you.
Alright, well. Now it's time for murder.
Is it the end of your turn?
I would think so. Oh, yeah, I would think so.
Alright. Well, the one driver says, "Who are you? Are you with them?" And then the other driver goes,
Just say no.
"You say no?"
Yeah.
Okay. This guy goes, "What do you think you're doing?
Kicking you off.
What? You can't steal this couch."
I like
Why
how
not?
music kicked up like that was a cool ass line.
And then the other guy goes, "Benjamin, throw the thief off." Roll. Yeah, you gotta roll an athletics or acrobatics check.
What are you? 18.
Well, your boy got a dirty 20, so yeet!
Oh,
You've just been shoved off the wagon. He grabbed you from the middle, stood up, picked you up, and then hoisted you off. Keep in mind, this is a 17-year-old kid.
This is what you're a little guy.
He's just a little guy, and you've been kicked off and begin rolling. And then Benjamin says, "Pick it up!"
Alright, I cast quadruple speed.
Quadruple speed. What?
And go 90.
Okay. Well, you can catch back up. After you
Alright.
pick yourself back up using half of your movement because you were knocked prone.
Yeah, so then I can go 75.
Congrats, you need to go 20.
Quadruple dash.
I mean, technically it's 30 up to the driver. What do you want to do?
You still have an action.
Ooh,
You still could use an action.
get to the driver,
Yeah.
and then I stab his leg and use that as my anchoring point. Oh, this is so intelligent. I have to get up. They don't let me just rob them. They should have just let me rob them. Alright, hit him with the stab attack. Ooh, maybe not. Okay, 15.
That hits.
Alright, he's stabbed.
Okay.
Ooh, let me tell you. He was surprised, alright.
And
5 damage.
And you're trying to use his leg to vault up?
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh, acrobatics.
Oh. 17. That was almost a natural
Okay.
20.
Oh my gosh. Alright, you stab your knife into the driver's leg and he screams,
Which driver?
this one. Technically one of them is a guard, but they both are using their reins.
Don't be Benjamin.
Yeah, this is Benjamin right here.
I'm driver.
You then grab onto the knife and try to hoist yourself up, which simultaneously throws the man off of the wagon. Are you trying to keep the knife in your hands?
I would really hope so.
Okay. Well,
Because this will be really unfortunate if I lose my next magical item.
what did you roll on the acrobatics?
Yeah, 17.
Alright. You're able to hold on to the knife.
I can't lose bleeding edge already. I've only
You
used it
stab
once.
him, blood pours out of the leg. You vault up. The pressure drives the knife further down his lower leg, creating
Ooh.
probably a 1 foot long scar.
He's
or
dead.
gash as it opens up. And then you pull the knife out and jump onto the wagon. He collapses and his entire leg is open and now covered in the dirt as he rolls around screaming and
Don't worry. I think Samuel's got
bleeding
him.
profusely. Benjamin is filled with rage. And he's therefore going to make 2 melee attacks against you. 14 hits, right?
Yeah. Yes, right. If it ties.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's gonna
These
use.
are unarmed
That's
strikes
actually
or
max
just,
damage.
like,
No,
he's
he has
got a weapon?
He has a pole arm.
Okay.
That is 10 piercing damage.
Interesting.
Alright, and it's your turn.
No. Okay. I need to end this quickly. Quickest. Oh well. I can't do that. Crap. Oh. Alright. I'm going to use my special ability.
Okay.
He just gotta roll a wisdom.
Okay. You got a 14.
Alright, we can ignore the special ability. It never happened.
Good.
I'm just gonna stab him.
Uh-huh.
Does a 20 hit. Just a
20
regular
does
dude.
hit.
Hit him with the thing. Takes 5 damage.
5 damage, okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, make an acrobatics or a athletics saving throw.
Hold up. That would be minus 3. 18.
Okay, make another one.
420.
20?
Yeah, dirty.
Alright. In his rage, he attempts to grab you twice and put you in a stranglehold, but fails both times as you ride your back to and fro, drastically attempting to avoid his strikes. His rage is now ended. Your turn.
Alright. I'm just gonna go in now. I'm gonna hit him again. 23. And then we're gonna hit him with the second because we're gonna dual wield now, and that's a 20. I'm gonna assume both of those hit. Ooh, that was a legendary attack right there. 7 damage.
Alright. And was that with 1 hit or 2?
That was with 1 hit.
Okay.
I mean, 2 hits.
Well, how do you want to do this?
I just stab him like 50 times in the chest.
The music cutting out. See, when I joked, smash cut to Grudger screaming and stabbing him a whole bunch, I was joking.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna check Grudge's alignment real quick.
No, it's good. We're fine. We're within the realms of the rules.
Lawful neutral. Yep.
I have a code. We're good. They're
Mm.
evil.
Mm-hmm.
He could have surrendered at any point there,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have let him be fine.
Yeah, because he's definitely gonna surrender after you just executed the driver by wedging a knife into him and then creating a 1 foot long.
He didn't know he was dead yet.
He could reasonably guess. Doesn't really matter.
He could have surrendered out of fear then.
Uh-huh. Because a guard is gonna surrender out of fear because he's a little piss baby. He's a 17-year-old hothead who just killed him.
Aren't we all?
Nope.
Anyway.
One of these days after these brutal killings, your alignment is just gonna shift from lawful neutral to chaotic neutral. Because, let me tell you,
I can be a brutal
you're
serial killer.
having way too much fun executing these kids. Literal kids. I put you in front of a minor and you said, I stabbed him 50 times.
Flashback to when we were getting followed by 2 guys on a public road and he murdered them.
No,
No.
they killed me.
That's technically what happened. It's funny.
No, I lost badly.
It's really funny.
I got put in the dirt.
Oof.
And I
Oh,
didn't
man.
murder them. They were suspicious and acting against the state. We all knew this. And then they put me in the dirt, and then somebody else finished them.
This is really just a moment where Trevor goes, I'm gonna put him in a moral dilemma, and then Greg goes, I stabbed him 50 times.
He hit me with a. Look, okay, I should also specify, I'm almost dead.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was a real moment where I went, uh-oh. Trevor, when he does 10 damage, I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I look at my health and I go, oh wait, I didn't heal. Uh-oh.
Now it's the part where the cowboy blows the smoke off the end of his gun and then like spins
Yeah.
it and puts it in the holster.
Yeah.
And then the villagers go, our town blew up. You're responsible. And he just goes, oh, on a day's work. And he rides off into the sunset.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is you guys are mean.
Samuel's going to live his
I'm
life.
also
That's all
gonna
I'm going to
It's a
say.
good thing that most of you aren't actually good, because man, this is a true neutral party. Only after self-interest. There is no concern for other life outside of yourself.
Samuel's fine.
The horse.
Samuel's going to go live his life now.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm just gonna copy the first. Oh man, that was really something. Well, Groucher, are you stopping the cart? What are we doing now?
I'm just going to drive the car for like an extra 30 feet.
Okay, great.
And then I'll finally stop it after the adrenaline's like gone.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
I could technically go help that guy. Is he
Uh-huh.
still alive?
Would you like to make a medicine check?
I would like to see if he's still alive.
Well, that would be a medicine check.
Well, I mean, is he moving?
Could be a medicine check.
Alright.
He doesn't want to look that closely.
Alright, we're doing a ranged medicine check here.
Mhm.
5.
Yeah, it doesn't take a scientist to know that he bled out in under 30 seconds because you cut a 1 foot long incision into his right lower calf. From right
That
below
happened all
knee
the time where I
down
came
to
from.
his ankle. He is dead.
Yeah, that happened all the time. You just
Uh-huh.
walk it off.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be really funny when Cagliari's not in here.
It's gonna be really funny when Griffin executed by somebody.
That's probably gonna happen.
It is probably gonna happen.
The story only ends one way.
Yeah.
You're
Anyway.
gonna open up the back of the cart. There's gonna be 6 angry guards in there.
It's gonna certainly be something.
That's gonna be like that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow's running away from like the entire like tribe of cannibals.
All right. So anyway,
And-
what are we doing?
Runs directly into his old crew, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What's the plan? Here?
I'm going to stop
Okay.
and I'm gonna look inside through the little window.
In the back.
Hmm.
There are windows on the side.
I mean,
They're a
whatever's the
little bit more-
closest window, but like
Okay.
I'm short, so
Windows on the side, but you have to like hop up to get them. It might just be the one in the back.
all right, we'll do that.
All right. You go to the bank, and you stand on your tippy toes to peer through the top of the window, and Cagliari is in fact in there doing whatever Cagliari is doing right now. What is Cagliari doing right now?
Was I able to summon my book?
Yes.
Then I'm looking at my book.
Wait a minute.
So you wouldn't.
Is
Oh,
it
never mind.
a spell?
No.
I think it's just like weird teleport magic, right?
It's a class feature.
Okay, that's what's weird about it. Yeah.
Is it a spell? No, it's a class feature. Hit him with the book, Trevor. Just kill him.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Are you
Then I have my
dead?
book.
You can't hear him.
I don't think so.
You can't
Oh,
hear him.
okay, interesting. Can I
You can
Can
see
I
it.
see him?
You can see a little Groucher head peeking out, and you can see his mouth moving, and he's saying something.
Did he hear me when I
Nope.
said hey?
Nope.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything happening in that car. Cagliari clearly sees you and is responding. There is no
Ah,
noise.
yes. Advanced silence magic. I've dealt with this before. It was an ocean village nearby.
Uh-huh.
I had to take some water. The case of the missing pearls. Anyway,
you know I
is there like a
can't hear
lock?
you? Like, are you
No,
trying
I'm
to?
just talking to myself. Is there like a lock?
Yeah, there's a padlock.
All right. I've been training for this my entire life. I crack one finger.
Okay.
Or will attempt to lockpick it.
All right. Well, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Keep meaning to do like look up the other lockpicking system that like World Builder Bob or whatever recommends.
We got a 14.
This
With
is
the
Alright.
these-
picking.
What, you got a 14?
Yeah,
That's funny. You fail.
I failed.
Yep.
Well,
Only there was something you could do about that.
if only there was. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Trevor. What I thought was very different from what you thought. I was gonna set the lock on fire.
What a free thinker.
Alright, I expend a chime of opening. Goes ding!
Oh, I thought you were just gonna try again with another sleight of hand check, but that also works.
Oh, I was going to. My initial thought was to take a page out of my notebook, set it on, put it in the lock, set that on fire, and keep feeding it until the lock melted a bit,
No. Okay, let's just do the chime
and
of
then
opening.
just
Let's just do the
Just
chime of
break it.
Alright, you use the chime of opening, right?
Ding!
The padlock springs open.
Clunk.
Yep. And now you can open the gate, which folds down. Looks like into a ramp.
Open the folding ramp gate.
The folding ramp gate is open.
Cagliari's gonna step out.
Cagliari,
Melted.
upon attempting to step out, slams her face into an invisible wall.
Ah, ba-da-na-da-na. Now that's pretty funny.
Looks like she's swearing, but you can't hear it.
Mhm. I'm gonna do like the mime thing where they like once they run into the wall, then they like investigate the wall. They're like, oh, there's a
Uh-huh.
wall here.
Yeah.
Is there a wall there still?
Yeah.
This changes things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stab the wall.
Go ahead, make an attack roll against the wall. It's gonna make a
Alright.
dexterity saving throw.
I'm specifically gonna use this dagger.
Mm-hmm.
17.
You hit. Roll for damage.
I think I'm gonna get laughed at. 5, 4.
I'm gonna pull something up real quick.
Do we win?
No, I'm just gonna pull something up real quick. It'll only take a second.
I'm about to get melted. I'm actually gonna get melted, Trevor. If it does more than 10 damage, I will die.
No. It'll be real quick. Don't even worry.
Trevor, this
about
is
it.
gonna be tragic. Kelly is just gonna watch me melt.
No.
He's probably just checking the health points of the wall if it has them.
Okay, I just gotta find it. All right, it'll only take.
Just gonna watch as I slowly just bleed out, and there's nothing she can do.
It's only gonna take a couple seconds.
It's gonna be like when Peter killed that kid.
You just.
I chose poorly, and then like that guy I melt.
B6 appraisals. It's gotta be real. It's. Oh my god, no!
That's what happened.
It was so confusing. I was like, where's that voice coming from?
That's what happens. The knife bounces off of the wall and I go.
Oh no!
The video off. All right. Anyway.
All right. Well, that didn't work.
Nope.
All right. I have a new plan.
Okay.
Oh, it was weird. I had something in the back of my throat. I'm just gonna take the card and turn around.
All right. He takes the card, and are you closing it back up, or are you just letting it drag the ramp on the ground?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. Great. Well, make an animal handling check.
Now Kelly already's got like a view or whatever. Natural 20.
Perfect. The horses totally don't care that you just killed whoever was driving them before. They
didn't even see it. It's too dark outside.
It's too dark. They didn't see it.
Even though there's a lantern.
Yeah. So you begin driving the wagon, and as you're driving behind you, you just hear as the bank door is just slamming against the various rocks and sand as you're driving along. The horses are having a harder time because the gate is causing so much drag. You can't move very fast, but they are moving.
We're going like barely faster than slow.
Yes. You pass the guy that you forcefully ejected, and blood is just spilled across the road.
He should have fell out earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I gave him a chance.
And eventually, you wind up the path, and Samuel was actually eating grass off the side of the road as he observes you go by.
I should technically get Samuel. He's probably a domesticated horse and will not survive in the wild.
Kind of struts off into the grass.
All right, that's his decision.
Oh, okay.
He's not leaving. He's just moving in response a little bit further.
Oh, I thought he was moving away from me, and I was like, if that's what Samuel wants to do, that's what Samuel wants to do.
He moved a little bit far away.
I would like to go get Samuel.
In the cart and salute as you
go get Samuel. What are you doing with Samuel?
I don't know, just like it. I'll approach and see if he runs away.
He does not.
All right, then I'll take the rain, like the fake, like rain, like contraption I made to get here, and just take him over to the cart.
Okay.
I'll just hold on to him as we're driving now.
Classic. All right. Well,
me and Samuel are best friends now.
You're off.
We are. He's my most bestest friend.
Now, the other group is following. Oh yeah, do you guys have a light source?
Yeah, they have a light.
That's right. You have the arrow light, right?
2 of them, and they're cantrips, so we can re-up them if they go out.
Of course. All right, so you guys are making your way down the path, and
you know what? I didn't move the dead body. We're gonna find that, and I'm gonna have to explain what I did to that guy.
Eventually, you pass by after looking at all the trees as you enter the forest and all the various sites, looking for signs. Eventually, finally see an incredibly artfully drawn scribble. It's
pretty
actually it really looks beautiful. It's like a work of art. It looks like this, and
it's almost like perfect.
It's
to be
scribbled
honest,
into the tree. It's almost beautiful, really.
It's almost beautiful,
and it's pretty clear who left that. When you look around for more, it seems to be the only one you see. But honestly, it's not too much longer where you just run into Grodger, who is driving a wagon. Now, before you see him, you hear him because you just hear, which is the, of course, sound of the back door dragging along the dirt. Which may have been crisped. I don't actually know, but it came through a recording. Let me tell you that.
It was there.
At
At least some of it.
Great. And yeah, you run into Grodger on the path. Here he is, little man, little guy.
Salutations, strangers. Fine day for traveling. I'm
Did
just
you
gonna
find
keep
her?
going.
Go
Go right past.
Leave.
So Crenshaw, there's a guy who explicitly asked us not to kill them, just sees you on a blood-soaked cart.
It's probably
he
not.
asked me.
Oh, there probably is a little bit of blood on the card.
Oh, he asked me not to kill them.
Yes.
2 men were stabbed to death.
No, only one was stabbed to death on the cart.
He asked us not to kill them after you left, so like, I mean,
We did tell him we couldn't guarantee any safety.
All right.
So,
So I guess I'm just gonna stop next to them.
all right.
And I guess I'll be like, there's some type of wall, invisible wall. Can't get in the cart, but she's there. So we're gonna have to figure that out. It was really weird. The wagon was just like abandoned on the side of the road. I tried the best I could, but the other two were already dead. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Roll for deception.
I am the most
I'm
deceptive
gonna do
man.
an inside check.
Oh, I have a +4. Let's go, 18.
20.
I am lying.
Well, Crenshaw looks a little confused. He looks back at Malakai and goes. He kind of gives him the eyebrow, like,
I just play along.
God, it was crazy. So tragic. Such young lives.
I shouldn't have traveled this late at night. I knew there were things in these forests.
There's also a dead woman. That was weird.
Interesting. Didn't know things were this dangerous out here.
Like she had this necklace. I just hold up the necklace of teeth.
Okay, Crenshaw.
Which none of those are human teeth, right? I didn't.
None of those are human teeth.
Cause that would be really funny. I feel like she had this necklace of teeth, and it's like half human teeth, and it's like, I'm not gonna lie, and I just saw the animal ones,
Yeah.
and I was like, ooh, shiny.
Okie dokie then.
Anyway, this is my friend Samuel. I'm pointing at the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty much the instrumental in this rescue operation.
So we just need to
His
break.
name isn't Samuel, by the way.
Watch this. Hey, Samuel.
Okay, I'm a handling check with disadvantage. Samuel does not respond.
Okay. He's tired.
Crenshaw hops off and says, "Night Fury."
You should have just stolen Luminous Midnight.
I was almost going to steal Luminous Midnight. It would be very funny. Yeah, anyway.
Alright.
Oh, no, go big mode. Oh, go big mode.
Big mode.
0.75, it is. And then he hops on him and says, I haven't worked with this horse that much, but I wasn't responsible for his wagon. So if you were able to ride him, I'm sure I can, and you may want to tend to your wagon.
Yo, if Crenshaw steals Samuel, I'm gonna freak. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. And what about this wagon?
What about this wagon? I mean, you can have it if you want it. We just need to get our friend out.
Well,
They're stuck inside.
I can drive it. but someone is gonna need to keep tabs on Night Fury.
Oh, I'll keep tabs. No fear.
All right. And he hops on.
You're gonna let the enemy guard drive the cart that has me in it?
No, we'll put
I mean,
in a no.
This has happened before. And
Don't worry,
yeah.
don't worry. We'll have collateral.
Um,
A moon dude.
Yeah, collateral. Yeah, that worked.
Actually, no, you're driving. Hey,
yeah.
Gingy, you should go on the other cart.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go on the car?
No.
Actually,
The other cards are like bigger and beefier looking.
Yo,
right?
what if we
Yeah.
just destroy the other cart?
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we could put Meteor in there.
Meteor just like rips it to shreds.
Yeah. I don't know. Never mind. Keep going. It's fine.
How heavy is Meteor?
Good question.
We don't know.
Heavy.
Million pounds
The
in the
answer is
world.
heavy.
Okay.
We could attempt to have him tear it apart, says Ventosh.
Yeah.
I concur.
What I do?
Break the card apart.
I can break. Breaking is easy. You want me
Hold
to
on a
break?
minute.
What?
Ventosh is gonna walk around to the back of the cart that Cagliari is in.
Okay.
And then he's gonna use his mind link
Okay.
to speak to her.
Alright.
And in her head, she's gonna hear, just watch out, because we're gonna have the big guy tear apart the cart. There you go.
Alright. And the big guy tear apart the car. Meteor says, I can smash it?
I told her to watch out, so hopefully.
Oh,
She'll
the
watch
woman is
out.
in the box?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Can she get out before I smash it?
No, so you have to be careful.
We need you to smash it so that she can get out.
Why am I smash her?
Yeah, I told her to watch out. It'll probably
Just
be
be
fine.
careful.
Okay, be careful. Meteor walks over to begin smashing. And he looks over and he holds up his fists in like kind of like that Kuatoa pose that the Kuatoa 5e art is. Like where his fists are ready.
Oh, yeah,
this
you know
guy,
that.
where his fists are ready and he's like holding them out. And then he takes his right fist and he just very gently punch and he punches the wood. And then he looks back at his fist and he looks to see if he damaged it. And he goes, "Be careful." I
I'll have to do.
I don't
I'll have to do a little more than that.
I don't want to hurt woman.
Woman is strong.
So not
This
careful?
would be great if Meteor just kills Cagliari
She
after
would have
all
been
this.
staying out of the way
Yeah.
of where he's punching.
Alright, well, Meteor's gonna look inside the cart and see Cagliari crammed into the back corner and go, okie dokie! And just punch
Gonna
him
die.
as hard as he physically can. Yeah, that's a 16 and an 18. The wagon jolts and slams onto its side as it is lifted up and slams into the ground sideways, dented, with the wood somewhat broken as his fist just plunged through it. And the cart is now on its side, and the horses are unbridled. It broke, and they have now run off, whinnying as the cart was pulling them down.
Wait, did we not?
I'm glad you moved Crenshaw out of the way right
Yeah.
before you knocked the cart over.
Oh,
That
he
was
saw it.
clutch.
He saw it get knocked over, and he made a dex saving throw. Got a 20. So he just like tucked and rolled.
What a legend.
Yep. Well, there is a meteor fist-sized hole in what is now the top of the wagon, which is actually just the side of the wagon that's now facing upwards because the wagon is sideways.
So it's not big enough for her to climb through yet?
No. Meteor just goes, "Is that bad?"
No, do more.
Okay. He just starts.
Just to clarify,
tears.
all the
Yeah.
spells are still in effect on the cart. I'm still deafened.
Yes.
Cool.
He just starts smashing it up, and just punching into the wood, and eventually he takes his hands and just tears the backboard of what is now the bottom of the cart off, so the floor is now gone.
I think we're gonna need to change his
When he
alignment after
starts
this.
punching again, and he goes, "I punch air, but my hand stopped."
Okay,
Mm.
so you guys have a Cagliari cube. I was afraid this would happen.
Yo, can Meteor pick up the Cagliari cube? And just carry it? Okay, anyway, so this, I'll be like, yeah, that happened to me too. So it seems like this isn't gonna... Yeah, it seems like this isn't gonna work.
Okay.
What
But
we
she can breathe.
do?
She can breathe and everything in there.
I don't know.
Let me ask her.
Right.
Cagliari, can you breathe in there?
Check.
Yes, she can breathe in there.
Here, I'll call Trevor.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, I'm calling you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What's up?
My Arcana check did nothing of use.
Bring, 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 bring.
Yeah.
Can she breathe?
Yes, she can breathe.
Alright, she can breathe.
Thanks. You're a true hero. Alright, so what are we doing? The cart's on its side. The holster for the horses is broken. One of the wheels is snapped off. It
Alright.
no longer has a floor in one section.
Well, we need to move the cart now out of the road, or we leave it in the road.
Just in fairness, we should get out of the road.
We should leave. We should get it out of the road. I have a code after all.
Oh, wow. This guy. Code is stabbed 50 times in the neck, neck exposed, kill, stab.
Did the
Alright,
horses
that
run
one.
super far away or no?
What was
Did the horses run super far away?
No, they just kind of scattered. Stopped.
Except for
Can I
good old
go after
Samuel.
one or two of them? I'm going to use minor illusion and make like carrots.
Wow, that's mean because they're gonna go to bite him and they're not gonna get anything.
But I'll lead them back.
What a loser. Lying to the horses.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Alright, the horses have been led back. What else is happening?
Meteor, move the wagon off the road.
Okay. He begins pushing the wagon, grinding it against the dirt, slowly shoving it until it's off of the road. And it just leaves the massive scrape mark in the road. All the loose dirt's been kicked up, and it's just this gross looking wedge in the road now. It goes, "I done."
It's a good thing I do not pay taxes.
Is she helped now?
Yes and no.
How come she not leave that big hole?
Because she's in a box.
Oh, like,
You remember that invisible? You hit something and there was nothing there.
yeah, the box make my hand.
Then that means there's something else there. But we can't get rid of it yet.
Like magic.
Yes.
Yeah, I know about
We should
magic.
just start explaining things as magic. This would be so much easier.
I have a question. So we're in like the trees doing this now.
Yeah. You're pretty much
Alright.
not exactly
So
in the
before we leave,
dense
before we leave the road, I see all the drag marks. Can I spend some time trying to like cover our traces?
Elaborate. Cover how?
Like taking like some branches and everything and like trying to move the dirt around to fill up some of the dragging spots.
It's not. Well, I mean, you could do that, but at the end of the day, there is a destroyed cart 2 feet off of the road. So no matter what you hide as to what happened on the road, the cart is still there.
I don't mind the cart being there. I just don't want
Okay.
people to see the drag marks and say, "Oh, they probably went this way."
Okay. Sure. Sweep that up.
Okay.
So, what in the world are we gonna do now?
Well, we gotta figure out some way to break the magical box seal.
You know, we could have just driven that cart, but now it's in shambles.
You know,
Is this
We'll make
Crenshaw?
that
Probably right
decision
there.
sometimes.
Is this
But
Crenshaw?
Yeah.
Uh, who here does magic? I guess Fantosh does. Um, maybe
Yeah.
if we discuss our magic knowledge together, we might figure out what this is, and sorry, we might be able to figure out what this is and a possible means of dealing with it.
Yeah. I have a dispel magic spell, but that didn't work last time. I used it on a wall of force similar to this.
Perhaps if we were to check our arcane knowledge together, uh, it
Mm-hmm.
might
Perhaps,
give us
yes.
Perhaps.
it might give us the
Somebody roll the number twice. Roll the funny number while the men talk about magic.
The funny number. You mean that funny number?
What's the funny number? I don't know what it is. 22?
22 is the funny number.
22 is a funny number. Well, you can roll
Very funny.
twice. Oh, okay. Each of you rolled. Never mind. All right. Malakai's retarded, apparently.
No, that was 5 minutes ago.
Okay, well, then never mind. You can roll twice.
Cool. 9.
All right, well, let's take the 22. So the men discuss magic arts.
the
And
men discuss.
the conversation quickly evolves, and Meteor is absolutely enthralled, standing behind them, watching them go back and forth. Malakai is going, well, of course, the new science spells, they have certain abilities of the static casting, and then Ventus goes, but as far as I'm aware, with the static casting, you have no ability to blah, 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 blah. And eventually the men decide.
Not that fast.
Eventually the men decide that this is probably not Wall of Force, because that's limited casting, unless, of course, they found some way to get it to last longer, which is entirely possible. But the
Yes.
only idea they have to dissolve it within their tool belt is Dispel Magic. As Ventosh already said, that didn't work on Wall of Force. But who knows?
perhaps we give it one more shot. It is the well, I can't say scientific method, the magical method, the alchemical method.
Chemical. That's great.
So he says so. Yeah, I'll do it.
Alright, Ventosh casts Dispel Magic.
At 3rd level, because that is the lowest level that I can
Man.
cast it at.
There's good news, and there's bad news. The good news is not immediately obvious, and the bad news is not immediately obvious.
Okay.
So there's no news.
Not yet.
You can't tell anything's happened. You gotta like do something.
Did it work?
I cast message and try to speak to Cagliari.
Well, Cagliari hears Crenshaw ask if it worked.
Oh, nice!
Oh,
You guys are hype. I'm gonna try to walk out.
It does not work.
Oh,
Welcome to the bad news.
So
There's
does
two
she
different
hear-
spells.
okay. I'm gonna Misty Step out.
That does not work.
What?
Just bonks her face on the side.
Misty Step is magic.
Oh, it's still okay.
Yes.
So
That's what
do you
you
have
tried
another-
originally and it didn't work. Remember?
Are you
Yeah,
able?
well,
Yeah.
listen.
Are you able? Okay, so maybe you dispelled a silence spell first, and now you have to dispel something else.
Well, that's I'm tapped. I can't
Yeah.
dispel anything else. So
Judging by your incredibly high Arcana check, it looks like you dispelled silence, which is in fact not immune to dispel magic, but whatever this wall of force is immune to dispel magic. Because it's like a physical manifestation.
I don't think I'll be able to take down the wall.
Can I roll? Can I try to attack it with Ray of Frost?
Of course.
All right.
The wall dodges your hit with the dexter. No, you're gonna hit it. You don't even really need to roll. Now, the wall gets frosty. And it glasses over.
Yo, the wall gets cool.
It does. It
Nice.
literally glasses over and gets like the
What's cooler than
what I'm
being
trying to say.
cool?
You can no longer see through it. It looks like a wall of ice.
Ice cold. Alright.
Oh, can I take my quarterstaff?
And smack it.
I'm gonna use Booming Blade first.
You may use Booming Blade to smack with quarterstaff.
Okay.
In doing so, you manage to shatter a layer of ice on the wall, but your quarterstaff is still stopped on the wall itself. So the panel of ice you created shatters, but the wall is unaffected.
Even the thunder damage is nothing.
No, does nothing.
Okay. Is this like? Gosh, I wonder if this is a resilient sphere of some sort. No, it's
I
a.
don't,
Just start
I
punching it
don't
in a
catch
line.
your drift if you're trying to.
Nope.
Ah!
No, it's just randomly. I just read.
Standing here.
I just read that spell today. Odeluke's resilient sphere. So thought that would be funny.
Wait a minute. Kelly, are you tried to Misty Step before they cast Dispel Magic, or right?
No, after.
Was after?
Yeah,
It was after the silence spell.
yeah, because Misty Step has verbal. That's why I was waiting to use it.
Ah.
We win! We win!
Huh, okay.
You do win.
Woo!
Oh.
I swear I tried that already, but it didn't work.
We all do the Kirby dance.
Okay,
All
so
do the Kirby dance.
was there? Did it dispel?
It dispelled everything except Wall of Force.
Oh, okay,
It can't dispel that.
right.
Now can we set up camp for the night?
We have plenty of wood to burn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a nap immediately because
Great.
I need rest.
Brilliant.
Well, thanks for getting me out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry's gonna go to like the loot pile that we have, and there's gonna be nothing there. There's gonna be like a piece of lint. Like, where's my loot? I don't know.
You guys find my stuff and my money?
We got all your
Oh.
stuff.
Found your stuff.
Insight roll. 16. Damn. Okay. Who's this guy? Pointing at Ventash.
Have fun with this.
Oh God.
Yeah, you see your dilemma, right?
I gotta switch between two accents. I can barely remember anyway. It's alright. Kaliar's is basically just my voice, so it's fine. I am a follower of yours. I saw your fight, and I thought it would be worth getting to know you. All right. And she's just gonna walk away. There you go.
Whichever one you don't like now melts.
Yep. I'm done. She's just gonna walk towards the cart to get her stuff. So.
I'm chewing on some jerky
Incredible.
Did we start a fire? We said, or
Oh no.
I'm going immediately to sleep.
okay. I'm starting a fire, and just a small fire, not a big fire, a tiny fire, and eating some jerky, and I guess chatting with Crenshaw about the state of Lucine
Okay.
currently.
You like to play out that conversation?
Sure. I'm sorry. You just for the sake of what's on the screen, you just have us in the middle of the road, but we're in the
I mean,
like we're not.
I can take you off of the road. I don't really. You just need to tell me where you want to go, like in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
not
fine.
a side of the road, but not
Here we go. We'll just tuck you in these little.
perfect.
I guess you're taking the other 2 horses. Well, no, these 2 horses are the ones that ran off with the wagon. You gathered them up. Do you want to keep them? Drag them
Yes.
into. Okay, cool.
Yeah, our party's a little bit large now.
It certainly is.
Yeah, we just gotta start selling people.
Big mode now.
Crenshaw, go once, go twice.
Dang, just talked about determinism and fate.
Ah. Well, there we go. These technically aren't really.
It's a pretty big camp.
It
Okay.
really is a big camp. Lots of horses. Party up here. Moon Dude's gonna pet the horses. I mean,
Heck yeah.
Meteor's gonna pet the horses. Moon Dude
No.
can join in too. I misspoke, but that was funny. Heck yeah. Like, you're a player. You can do whatever you want. I don't have to narrate you doing it. Moon Dude's gonna pet. That's the funniest thing ever. Heck yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay,
I have
anyway.
2 character sheets open on my computer.
Oh,
What
man.
have I done?
I don't know. I don't know what you've done. I need to check one thing. And I gotta check a couple other things, and then I can. Crenshaw, please. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That's what. Let me write that. This will be important.
Surprise tool that'll help us later.
What's that from? Is that a Jontron clip?
What surprise tool that'll help us later?
Yeah.
No, that's like
That's from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
That's what it was.
Mhm.
It's like Mickey leaning into the camera.
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
this is gonna be this. Boom. Basically, I win. I'm. Yeah, I'm a hero. Okay, I'm ready to do whatever we're gonna do. You want to talk to Crenshaw? Is that what you said, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
to
I'm gonna put you crowded. Put the
I'm
secret
sleeping like
position.
against a tree.
Yep, by Meteor, sure. Malakai and Crenshaw are having a conversation. Alright, so what are you guys talking about?
it's been, I
Girl stuff.
suppose, it's been over.
Boys.
Perhaps it's been over 10 years since I left Lucine. What are things like now? What of the House de Lumiere? How is that?
I'll be honest, I don't really know that much about the Lumieres. Not really talked about much anymore aside from Queen. But even then, that name is uttered. I don't exactly really know anything about you guys. That is what you are, right? Here,
I'm a supporter of the de Lumieres, yes.
I see. I really couldn't tell you. The whole thing went down.
And
Really, just a kid.
yes. But the Queen, she's all right. She's safe.
I know. Not like I ever see.
Mm-hmm.
Our contact with the establishment is very loose. Orders pretty much just come down from Frost. He's the head captain, but one of the head captains of the house, Lene, which previously in service to. And they've been pretty, they've been smarming Xerxes, but they haven't gotten far, to be honest. But, I really couldn't tell you what the place is like. I've been mostly from my family.
And your objective was to find me?
No.
Okay.
Objective was just an escort mission. Lady Lene wanted to see a show, and father approved it. So, for the crew. But
And so the decision to attack us had nothing to do with my presence.
no. Miserum had something that I think things got really confusing. But from what I understand, Tag went down, and then was killed by her, and then all hell broke loose. Frost went berserk, and then all of a sudden we were essentially loaded onto a convoy and shipped out with her. And that's when we were introduced to Miserum. And he seemed to talk with Hoarfrost a lot. And I'm fairly certain when I heard about Roger, I don't exactly know what they know about him. Miserum wasn't too happy about it.
Malakai shoots a look over at Grodger and files that away to talk to him about for later.
Nice. I think Roger's schlumped against a tree. So Crenshaw says, yeah, I think after talking, they decided that I don't exactly even remember. I just know the name came up, and then Miserum said we were being followed and that it was Roger's group. And then Frost set up an offensive ambush.
All right. And there's been no talk in Lucine about have there been any rebellions? Anyone's challenged Xerxes for the throne?
No. Rebellions is a strong word. There's independent actors, and they're pretty much always squashed. There's been some, I guess, rebel force operating out of the forest nearby, they think. We've had some incidents with farmland being burned down. We're doubtful that it's natural causes. But outside of that, hasn't really been any whispers of rebellion.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you, and I thank you for helping us tonight.
Yeah.
I
Probably
hope
better
that
than
we
my other option.
I hope that we can make Lucine back into the place it was meant to.
Whatever
But
that
for now,
means.
I think it's best we go to sleep.
Let's just take one problem at a time.
Is anybody keeping watch?
Cagliari will.
Okay.
Alright.
All night, or should we take shifts?
Yeah, she doesn't sleep.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool. So full night of rest.
Nice. Alright. Well,
Long rest, long rest.
everyone take off. Actually.
Uh,
I have to roll a
Yay!
d20 to decide
Nope,
your
he's dead.
fate.
Oh no, I already did it. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
I already hit the button. All right, I'm clicking back my spell slot.
Well, I had none left, so it's super easy for me to click back.
Sure it is.
Yeah, Vantosh had 1 first level.
All right, I
and
have to
all.
figure out. I have to come up. I have to check my notes. I have to review, and I have to make a few rolls to figure out what decisions are being made, and that's going to affect what happens. So I have
Great.
notes here. That's too far. Yep.
So no more spell slots.
Mhm,
Goodbye. Thank you for your time. Goodbye, spell slots. Have 1 sorcery point.
Okay, I got to do math now. Math. I'm pretty sure you guys can long rest. Like 99% sure. But
Okay.
don't do it yet. Because we're going to say it's like probably like 8 p.m. We all settle down. Okay, and then 6 hours. So it's, 9. 9 is sent to here. This is. Ah, man.
Motion detected at the front door.
Motion detected at the front door.
Kill.
You're being invaded.
Kill.
Roll for initiative.
Play the combat music.
Play the combat music. Barricade the hatches. Yeah,
You never should have come here.
You guys can go to long rest. So everyone check off. Everyone check off long rest.
Long rest.
Ah, another long rest.
I forgot what having health was like.
Those
Huh.
spell slots.
I don't get it.
Sweet, beautiful spell slots.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Oh, I get to do cool stuff now.
Got it.
All right.
Okay. Got it. Figured it out.
1.
This is going to be cracked.
That's actually pretty based.
Actually. One more thing. All right. Well, you all awake, tucked away in a little forest corner with 3 new horses and 1 new, well, technically 2, 1 new and 1 old party member. And I guess 1 relatively new party member in Ventosh. Your numbers have grown pretty substantially. Cagliari keeps watch over the night and doesn't see anything vicious. It was fairly quiet. And things are looking a-okay. So, you wake up at whatever time is 8 hours after 8 p.m., like 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
4 a.m., like an hour before dawn, an hour or 2 before dawn.
4 a.m. on a Monday.
4
Philadelphia,
a.m. on a
PA.
Monday.
It's an overcast sky. Wind's coming from the southwest. This reminds me of when I was in a small fishing village west of here.
Does
Patty's
remind him
Pub,
he was in a small fishing village.
Philadelphia, PA. 4 a.m. on a
All right.
Monday.
Well, it's about 1.5, 2 hours before dawn, but you are rested because you went to bed pretty early.
I'm gonna ask Roger about Mesorim.
Okay.
Who?
Mesorim?
Miserum.
Mesorim.
Is
Does
that?
that name seem familiar to you at all?
Hold on, let me check my notes. Is that Marcus?
Is Marcus what you named the tiefling?
Yeah.
You deduced that it's probably Marcus.
All right. Yeah, what about him?
It seems he's working with Lucine.
Yeah. I got a spell book here.
Of his,
Yeah, this is his.
may I look at it?
Sure. There's a
Okay.
really weird spell in there called Issasik.
Uh,
Still don't know what that means, but it's there.
Okay. Is that in common language or?
the
No,
spellbook
it's
is in Infernal.
yeah. Can you read Infernal?
No, I speak the exact opposite of that.
Here, I got you. Meow.
Oh, I could just like talk to Malakai in a different language.
That's
You can.
crazy.
You could.
No one would know it.
I think you could have also done that to me this entire time, though. I think I can't. I don't know if I can talk back to you.
Ben,
Can
Flash,
I?
and Cagliari could talk to each other and only Dog could understand it.
Anyway, yeah, I could translate it if need be.
Please.
All right, it gets warm.
Uh-huh.
And then
I just realized what that's referencing is.
and then
was
I
gonna
start
say-
reading the out
Yeah,
the important information.
yeah.
I guess trying not to accidentally cast any
I
spells.
don't think you're gonna be able to accidentally cast any spells, Dingus.
I don't know. Grouger's kind of yoked.
Okay, well, you're reading through the spells and it's quite the gauntlet. Invisibility, Wall of
gonna be-
Force, Sleep, Teleport, Sending, Hold Person, and Flesh to Stone are the ones that are pretty easily translatable.
Um. I don't suppose he could teach me the instructions to that sending spell, could he?
Well, there are diagrams. And the written components can be translated and written in a language you understand.
I'm pretty good at writing.
So is it possible
Yes.
he could write those out for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, you got like paper?
I, the one piece of paper I have, I really
I have
shouldn't
paper.
be writing on.
I got you. I have paper.
Should not be writing on my certificate of pedigree.
Yeah, but think about if you had like teleport on the back. That'd be pretty funny.
Certificate of pedigree with teleport spell on the back. It's funny
Alright,
too because teleport is only verbal, which means it's really just like a word. And like say it like this.
You gotta mean it.
You gotta say it like this and you gotta mean it. Otherwise it won't work.
Spaghetti.
Okay. Oh.
Alright,
Yeah,
I guess I'm gonna.
when Grudger
take
Griffin's
some
reading the
pages
teleport
out.
spell, he goes, and this one says.
Oh my gosh.
He's gone.
That was weird. I was in this place called Poland. Don't know where that is.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll tear some pages out of my notebook and hand them over. Well, after I guess writing on the thing.
Hand him a single silver piece.
Wow.
Ooh,
Incredible.
thanks.
Baller.
I'm gonna need a new book soon. All right.
So.
You sure you don't want to learn Issasik?
I mean, you can just give me all the spells in the book if you need
All right.
to.
I'll make sure. I'll underline Issasik.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's just the words Issasik.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I really like the spell Shut Up Nicholas.
Ooh, got him. Hey, this is what you told me. I wrote down what you said. I don't
believe
understand
you,
what
though.
Issasik
I don't
means.
believe you. I don't know what that means either, but there's a recording, so I could check. Either. Is it just it's space A space sick?
No, it's ITSA space sick.
What the heck? I have no idea.
It says literally in the note for Marcus's spellbook. It says there is a page for teleport and Issasik.
Okay. Well, we'll never know. Check recording.
Were we just doing an Italian accent going, it's a C?
I don't
Like-
think so. I don't think so. But
I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm not getting anywhere with it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I could make bank off of Marcus's spellbook.
Probably. You're just gonna call Mizra Marcus, aren't you?
Misra?
Never mind.
So, Trevor, would I now add those spells?
You
or-
can add the spells that you can cast. I mean, you can kind of add all of them, but you're not gonna be able to cast all of them. Some of them are too high level. Just a little guy.
Right. Okay, so I guess I should write down what spells they are, and then when the time comes, add
Yep.
them. But okay,
You do that.
cool.
Any spells that you can already cast because of, like, if you have the level to already cast those spells, you could just straight up add them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty. Is anyone else doing anything else?
No.
Okay. Great.
No.
You petting the
Oh,
horses around?
Roger. If you don't mind just typing the spells in the chat so I can just write them down.
Even better. I can have access to the list.
Oh, sweet.
Not the full list. I gotta go to Mysterious Day and Core Scare, and then I gotta remove all the accessory notes that are the me notes for me only.
Just flavor-wise, Ventosh was shuffling through about 8 cards, and one of them, he spread them out on the ground, and then one of them jumped up into his hand. And he looked at it, and he put them all away.
This guy's a witch.
Burner.
Murder!
He's a bard, man.
Murder!
Yeah, and I'm a crazy hooded figure that casts healing magic. You're a witch.
Oh, okay, I see.
He's
You're
not
saying that in
based off-
character, I got it.
It's based off a character called Lunatic Cultist.
People are... Oh yeah, speaking of which, John,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have your shield anymore.
Which shield?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. Freeland, you don't have your shield anymore.
Look at this guy.
Forgot
Come
he lost
on.
joining privileges.
You lost your privileges, by the way. You're not.
You're
You're.
not joining anymore.
I lost my shield?
You did.
That's
Like
how you-
overnight?
No. Well, technically, yes.
What?
You just wake up, but it's not on you.
My shield.
You never used it.
You don't remember having a shield, John.
What?
You're getting
You don't
actually
remember having a
pranked.
shield.
Huh?
You just wake
Never
up
had
with
one.
a mace. You've only ever had a mace. You never had a shield. You never had a shield, Freeland. Never had a shield.
What?
You never had a shield. Anyway, moving on.
Alright, delete. Now my AC is only 20.
Oh no. Anyway,
Does anyone else remember him having a shield? No, he doesn't.
crazy. I wonder if this has consequences. I wonder if
What?
this relates to the Lord. Huh? What?
I'm asking if the other party members notice he doesn't have a shield anymore.
I mean,
You
why
never had
would
one.
you notice that?
I don't, because he's always had it. Like,
Alright.
He's always had a shield?
I think he has always just pretty much had it in his hands at all times.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
It's not there anymore.
I got a shield in one hand, I got the mace in the other, and I cast my magic with the mace and never hit anyone with it.
Yep, exactly. So he just has his mace.
It's a really heavy wand.
Yep. Alright. So, what
When I
are we
heal
doing?
you, I actually just like bonk you in the head of a mace.
do we notice?
I don't know, do you?
Notice what?
I don't know if we do.
You'd have to roll for it. You can't just notice.
Okay,
Especially
what do we roll?
Ventosh. Ventosh is new.
Okay, well I got my other character back.
Yeah, you got
She's
your other
there.
character back. She's there.
So you can roll twice to notice.
So what do I roll?
Perception.
Okay.
Or investigation.
All right, Trevor, but do I notice?
Of course, you're the greatest detective. The greatest detective always notices.
I notice everything except for the things I specifically don't.
Exactly. Anyway.
Was a 14 enough?
Yeah, something feels missing. You don't know what it is, but something feels missing. When it feels something's missing.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple days. It's probably
Yeah, it's
nothing.
probably nothing.
Could have lost in the war.
Yep. So, what's the plan? What are we doing? Like 4:30 a.m.
It's
I'm
4:30
gonna
a.m.
start like slowly losing the small things like amulet. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. Leather satchel. Oh, yeah, what's that?
Your
Then I'm
left
just gonna
shoe.
lose like my armor. It's just gonna disappear. Like what armor?
Where's your left shoe?
I wonder if you should deal with this predicament.
Blue robes. You don't have blue
You never
robes.
have blue robes. You never have blue robes.
They've always been green.
Wonder if you should deal with this.
Oh.
Well, someone has to tell him.
And
And neither of my characters are in a position to do
that's
so.
why
So,
it's funny. Ah.
John, roll for dog and have dog notice and tell you. Or, I'm sorry,
But
Freeland.
is Kinky still with us?
Mm-hmm.
You feel unsettled.
Hmm.
Now, there's the normal reason for you feeling unsettled, but there's another reason you feel unsettled. A fun reason.
Yeah, I'd like to do a religion check.
Hey, go ahead.
Roll the 10.
You should get moving.
Well, like all of us, or just me particularly?
I'm sorry, all I said was you should get moving. I'm not
Hey, hey guys, I have a bad feeling. Can we start moving like right now, like this very second? Like, let's hit the road. I'm kind of a little paranoid. Can we go? Come on, please go. Can we, guys, can we go?
Yeah,
please?
sure. Where are we going?
All right. I don't know. Just on the road. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's just go.
All right.
All right,
let's go.
I'm talking to Samuel right now.
Everyone laugh.
Grinder, shut up. Let's get.
Some people ride horses. The others use the carriage. Is that what we're gonna do?
I
That
ride
seems the best
horse.
method.
No.
No.
Am I gonna hurt horse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, everything sucks. I got walk everywhere.
What if we find like a really big horse?
the big horse from Legends of
Meteor
Zelda.
storms off.
Oh, excuse me.
Somebody should follow him. All right, I'm gonna get on Samuel.
Yeah, Malakai's going into the wagon.
Alright. Back of the wagon?
Yeah.
Back of the wagon.
Windows in the wagon.
Who's in the wagon with Crenshaw?
I can't ride a horse. Can you ride a horse? No, I can't. I'm not really good at horses either.
Did we not?
Cagliari's gonna get in the cart before Ventalish can get in the cart.
Well, could one of the pieces we took from the cart be a second set of reins?
Yeah?
Ooh, that's kind of a good point.
But you can't have a harness, so they're not going to be like ordered.
Yeah, you gotta be
They're
like
gonna
me.
be long.
What?
I don't know what he's.
So the front of the cart has two reins on it for the two horses, right?
It also has a T-bar that's holding them in place.
Well, what about the other cart?
It's destroyed.
Not the front of it.
Yeah, the front of it.
Could we just tie them at the back and they just follow?
I specifically
mean-
said that the front of the thing got unhinged and it got ripped off, and then the horses went wild.
Hey,
It's also,
fine.
even if it was in place, it wouldn't help you because you would have to jerry rig it onto this wagon, and that would not work.
Right.
We
so,
have Roger, the craft guy. I mean,
you do have Roger the Craft guy. That's
You want me to
true.
craft something? I am the most
He could
craftiest guy.
He could
I go for craft.
Roger, but
Ooh,
have
that
to
was
hurry.
almost a 17.
What did you get? No.
He was like, must hurry.
All right, it's the fastest job I've ever done in the
Alright.
West.
Roger's investigating the field. He has this brilliant idea that he's going to craft a super harness for the new carriage so that they can have 4 horses. Gets it together, he starts fitting it on.
It's like the Lego thing where I'm like
It's-
moving it like
it
Mach
is-
12
it
and
is
the
the
pieces
Lego
are just
thing.
forming in the middle.
Forming,
Yo, fast
but
Joe.
instead of going, it just goes. It doesn't
And
work.
it just crumbles.
It crumbles. It
it's
kicks
just
in, falls
it's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of things stacked on top of each other.
Roger attempts to make a super rig, but he's not craftiest enough.
I just go, I don't have the pieces. We're missing stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Well, is there more room in the cart?
There could be. 6 people is going to be tight.
I kick the dwarf out.
No,
big
he's
leg.
underneath.
He's underneath in the hammock.
Yeah,
He's
that's fine.
He's like glued at this point.
He's in hibernation.
Well, I don't know what to do then. I don't know.
Well, suddenly,
Listen, guys, I'm just gonna be straight with you. My 2 characters are not very good at animal handling. They're not gonna be good at riding horses. So
all right, you know what that means.
I could have one of them ride. I don't know if it would do. If,
I
if
get
it
on
would
the
be
same
a good
horse
idea.
as Garager.
Well, Crenshaw.
What? Me and Samuel are gone.
Yeah, knife. Okay, fine. I guess Samuel, whatever. All right.
Night
Crenshaw
Fury's
offers
only
to
his
ride
name
a
when we're in
horse
war.
for logistical purposes.
Okay.
Cool.
So, huzzah. King, you know how
Alright.
to ride a horse?
Lizard.
Hmm.
You know how to ride a horse?
Do I?
I don't know. Do you?
Do I do an intelligence roll? I don't know.
Just tell me if you know how to ride a horse.
Yeah, I know how to ride horse.
All right, they
He's
got
an
on the horse.
esteemed lizard warrior. Of course he
He's
knows how to ride a
esteemed
horse.
lizard warrior. He knows how to ride a
I
horse.
don't think he's any of those.
He's not.
Esteemed? No. Lizard? Yes. Warrior?
No, he's
Sort
not.
of.
The dragon is different.
Steamed
Lizard is like
ham.
lizard folk. Anyway, the great legion of 3 horsemen is ready to roll at this point, and Meteor, and Wagon, and we're
Let me
painted running
ride.
around. All right, so we're off.
Wait, Trevor. So
correct?
here's what you do, Trevor. Here,
Yeah.
save you some time, right?
Mhm,
Leave,
okay.
stop. Leave that formation there.
Mhm,
You just leave it on your screen, right?
Yeah.
But then you make another square called wagon. But then we need the detail. You can pan over to that wagon. Make it its own separate scene.
Right.
What if the ground moved?
Ground move. Continue to do that. I don't care. It
You
doesn't
just
matter.
put it like its own square off to the side.
No, it makes
And
me
you can like
happy.
reference it.
No, I like this. Let me do what I want to do.
No.
I want to do what I want to do. All right, anyway.
Like real quick,
We should
code
use a
in
normal virtual tabletop.
code in a locking button that lets you link things together.
No!
With the
That's a good idea.
frizz?
That's a
No
good idea.
way.
Although I really just need a group select. I need the select tool for entity layers. That's what I need. Anyway. So, we're off, correct? How fast
Yes.
are we going?
I mean, me and Samuel are like lapping these guys
Slower than before, I'd imagine.
because we are the most elite warriors and the presidents.
Okay. Here. I need to do more math. I believe it was 32. What did I do? How much math? There's no math. So that's 16. So actually, if we do the math, check this out. It's going to be the bestest math ever. I typed the wrong number. It didn't work. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's like baby. All right, you guys are riding. I need to know you're just going casual pace.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Malakai, if Malakai's at the back, can he just be like looking out and trying to like
Yeah.
see?
Yes.
Okay. Should I do a
Uh,
perception check or?
You should do a perception. Still very early. It is before dawn, so you're gonna want to light up the
Anyway.
wagon. What?
It's a 5 anyway, so
Yeah.
looking real hard.
Yep. So it's about 5 a.m. You guys have set out. It's just before dawn. The sun is about to come up, but it's kind of like twilighty at this point. So light is beneficial. You're going at a casual pace. The horses could go faster. The wagon's maybe the slowest thing. You're not in any super rush. You're fairly certain you're getting pretty close to Namir because you must have journeyed like more than 12 miles yesterday, so you're more than halfway there. So it should be less than a day's journey, honestly. You're probably riding for about an hour or so. It's 6 a.m. at this point. It is officially dawn. You can see. You can turn off your little wagon lights, and you're good to go. And the road has been pretty clear, pretty quiet this early in the morning. I haven't seen much of anything. Slow and steady path as you make your way to Nate. Now I need to find funny thing. Rolled a funny die. Pick another one. That one already happened. Ah, yes. The funny guys.
It's about to be 5 frogs, all with
No.
banjos.
What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up funny audio. This will adequately convey the information that I wish to convey.
Oh no.
It's from Monty Python.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna be unfortunate when they come across the guy. Oh, well, it looks like they've right passed the guy. We're good.
Rick.
Are they hitting themselves in the faces
They're
like in the
going
movie?
the
Yes.
other way?
They're not hitting themselves in the face like in the movie, but this is just what I immediately thought of when I thought of these guys. So, anyway, these priests walked in the road, and they stand in front. Clearly, they are in high religious garb, and they say, "Stop, you travelers! It was destined that we would find you upon this path of the mighty, of the righteous."
And Moon Dude brings the wagon to a stop. But it's a little jerky, so the horse is kind of like, because
Oh yeah,
he's not great at it.
he's the greatest horseman. Meteor just stops one of the
He just pulls
horses.
the e-brake.
There, guys, they're just on the path here. Couple of gamers. Well, a trio of gamers actually.
What do they look like?
Well, if you would
Hero
like
Forge,
to
Hero
roll,
Forge, Hero Forge, Hero Forge.
no, if you would like to roll a religion check or a history check or just
I'll
a
do it.
general perception check, I could give you any amount of information.
All right, not 20 religion check.
These are followers of Savras, god of mages and wizards in service of Mistra, the goddess of magic. Once you remember of Savras, he was once a mortal, and the mighty mages constructed the portals beneath the city of the Ravens. Blah 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 blah. Point being, Savras
Wait,
was
they work for who?
Savras.
Okay, you said another word, another name, Miss something.
Mistra.
Mistra, goddess
Okay.
of magic. They are magic worshippers or something. Funny information. They are not wearing blue, but blue is easy. So I guess I can actually technically just do this. They're wearing tan hooded robes, a very plain style. Whether they're priests or monks, whatever you want to call them, they're
Does
clearly
everybody know that?
religious.
Does everyone in our party already know this, or
Heck
no?
no. They're just dudes
Alright,
in tan
so
robes with weird
I'm
eyeball amulets.
gonna cast message like in rapid succession and just
Okay.
fill everyone in. They're from their garb, it looks like they're worshippers of Mistra. There must be priests of Savros. She's the mistress of magic. So just so you guys know that. All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Uh-huh.
I'm here all week.
Next Friday, yeah.
So, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna walk around them.
Okay,
Just
great.
disrespect.
Hodges is walking around. The priest holds up a hand and says, "Wait, before we bring a message
I
to
vaporize him.
you." Okay, what are you doing?
I guess I listen now.
You are the bold one, Grudger Griff. You require patience and restraint.
Alright, how did they get my social security number?
Our God
Okay.
has informed us of your doings. He has seen great potential in you, but also great danger. Your actions are of utmost importance, for the world is at a turning point. Every step you take may matter, and in which
cusp of a
direction,
new era.
and for which purpose, and in whose service. For your lives are your own. Destiny is not to be handed to you, but it must be fulfilled according not to the purpose of the gods, but to your own For yes, the fate is in your hands, not of the world, perhaps, but at the very least of your own lives, and the lives of those around you. For yes, I decree that a number of things may happen based on the decisions that you make in this life, which may be good or bad. As you know, the dangers of
Judge a slide.
wrongdoings may go on, but you must be aware every decision you make matters. For
What's
there is
the
a
whole-
great weight to that. Let me finish! For there
Stopwatch
is
is
a
going.
great weight. All of the consequences of your actions have yet to be realized, but one day you will see the folly of man hath been presented to you, and so we decree that you must proceed with caution, for there are those who wish to see you destroyed. For we are neutral, we are only informed of the matter by our God, but it behooves us that we must inform you as well, for we have
Consequences of what
seen
actions?
we have seen the possibilities. We have seen the ways in which this world may turn, and it turns upon your decisions.
Consequences of what actions?
Yes, there are many
Mhm.
actions that you must take, Roger Griff. You have turned your back on the northern lands, and there will be blood to
Mm.
pay.
Okay, I guess fair.
Is it just him, or are all of us involved?
You, the witch, the warlock, your actions are the most scary. Our God
That
has
was
seen scary
that was
things.
Ventosh because he's on the front of the
Oh,
cart.
never mind. What did you? What
Although
did you touch
my
that?
glasses are.
Oh,
I
my
gotta.
glasses! I couldn't see who said that.
You
You sound womanly.
witch!
You sound very feminine. What did you say?
I was just asking if this involves all of us.
I have no idea who you are. I thought you were the witch. My God did not tell
Good.
me about you.
Good to know.
Yes, but we have seen the outcomes. All of the possibilities have been laid before us, yet we do not know which path you will take. We merely know the sequence of outcomes, the range of possibilities. We have seen
Insight check.
all. What?
Insight check.
Okay. Go for it.
I just imagine you just talk to these wizards just come up, they're spieling.
Well,
It just says insight check.
It doesn't seem like he's lying, but he said a lot of words and not a whole lot of substance. But
yeah,
it seems
like a
like there's some
horoscope.
validity to what he's saying at the very least.
that's why I was insight checking.
It doesn't seem like it's the most. Here's the thing: it doesn't seem like he has nothing to say, but it doesn't seem like he's lying. But he's not the most helpful either. You don't really know what to make of him. It's hard to read him.
Did he actually say the witch thing?
Yes, he did.
And Cagliari's gonna jump out of the cart
Okay.
and walk
But
out.
you know what?
It just comes out going hard, like
What
did you say?
Are you walking up to
I'll
him?
have you know.
Are you
All
walking
right,
up to
I'm
him?
getting tired of people calling me witches. What is this? What is this business? Where are you from? What are you doing here?
We are from all across the land. The followers of Savras have journeyed far and wide, for we foresaw the events that may transpire, and we determined that we must take action.
Okay.
Yes.
What's that mean? What are you doing? What are you doing here?
We are here to inform you of the possibilities in which you may partake in, for there are many roads and you must choose carefully. This road, of course, is a straight road. There's only one path, but in life there are
Life's
many
a mystery.
paths.
Like, what specifically? You came here to take action. What's your action?
Well,
What are
that
you doing?
depends on what you do, for there are many possibilities and you must choose your destiny.
Right.
You, Cagliari, the witch, you have chosen your destiny, and it is bad. It is no good. It is terrible.
Yeah, you too, bud. I'm just gonna walk back to the cart.
And Malachi approached, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna use minor illusion just on my face, so I look like
Okay.
someone else.
Okay. Who are you?
Huh?
Who are you?
Steven.
Savras did not tell us of any Stephen.
Even.
Then Savras must not be correct.
No, Savros is correct in all things, but we have only been revealed specific information about specific members of this group, but we are aware of many members, out of which being Cagliari the Witch, Griffin the Inquisitive, Kingy the Blowtail, and there was another guy who was blue, I think.
Seems like they had like a lot written for like the first two people on the list, and then like a small footnote for the other two.
They put out a scroll for the first two, then the second they just checked like smudged writing on their hand.
and Moon Dudes was like 90% smudged. It just said the word blue and
Blue
dude.
... question mark.
There is much confusion about this party's future, and many things that we do not know, but many things that we also do not know. I mean, do know, for we have seen many of the possibilities, as I have said. There are many roads, many outcomes. Would you like to know
What's the holdup?
Would you like to know the future? A future.
Sure.
Oh, very well, Stephen. You are not invited to the future. I do not know who you are. Someone else.
Wow, you got uninvited.
So you can only see the future for specific people.
Yes. I
Do
do not
me.
know your role in this party. Oh, Blue Man, yes. Okay, Moon Dude runs up, right? Alright, the priest steps back and says, yes, so grab onto his hand, yes. Okay, you grabbing onto his hands?
Oh, did they just do the Cupid shuffle?
I got leather gloves on, but yes.
Okay. So, having a vision. And
Did
you will find it, Emma.
right in that guy's face? Oh my god.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
sick. Wow.
Alright. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. It's gonna take a little. It's gonna take a little bit. I just gotta go to the better search engine.
1, 2.
The vision
3.
is taking a while to boot up. Okay. Takes a while for the vision to boot up.
Dial up noise.
Come on, vision, boot up. Alright, the vision booted up. What do we got? No. Copy. Do this. Do this, vision. Perfect. This is the vision. This is you.
Lost in a blue void.
You're just a man floating in a blue void. Congratulations. That's your vision.
A
I
blue
take my hand
dude.
away.
Okay. Do you understand your future with the secrets revealed?
No.
Oh. Anyway, does anyone else want to know their future?
Sure.
Ah, yes. Come, step up to the priest.
Wonder if I'm gonna be a blue dude lost a void.
No. Alright.
It's just gonna be a picture of a dead body.
No, this one is different. This one's
Okay.
different. Alright, I'm gonna type it out to you. You ready?
Uh-huh. Does that have anything to do with the first message?
No. Nothing at all.
Okay.
That's the vision.
Alright, hold up, I have a response.
Okay. Thanks for the response. That's your vision. Do you
Interesting.
understand one of the many possibilities of your future?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was weird.
We have many visions. They are not what is to come, but what may come. For you must be careful. You must tread carefully. Your destinies are constantly moving, constantly intertwined. Does anyone else want to know the future?
We should
Hey,
get
what about
going.
Samuel?
I don't know who that is.
Night Fury.
I still don't know who that is.
It's the horse.
The horse has no future. It is a horse.
What? Oh, I've thrown it to the depths of despair.
Do you understand our warnings? Do you understand the complexities of life, the mysteries of the universe?
The complexities of life.
Things are very strange. Things are very wacky.
Yes.
Has this knowledge assisted you in your journey?
Not at all.
Oh.
Here's a gold coin.
Oh, thank you. We do take donations for this long and strenuous journey. For we are prophets. We have journeyed all this way to give you this message. Goodbye.
We just like were mentally assaulted by a 3-man voicemail team.
Yes. They walk away, allowing you to pass. Congratulations.
Wow.
That really happened.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, if no one else speaks up, Crenshaw's going to speak up and just go, "What the hell just happened?"
I do not know.
Hey, back in the wagon.
Yeah, we just returned our card.
Great.
We're like, that was weird.
That was weird.
They just walked up with us and said, "Taste your food before I."
Mm-hmm. All right, we back on the road. We back on a steady pace.
I have another one that like talks about Japan. All right, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going and making pretty good progress. The forest hasn't cleared yet. You're still kind of trekking through it, although the pathway is a little bit more open than it was before. So the trees are more like 40, 50 back. Fields along this part of the pathway for now. You guessing that you're pretty close to Namir? A few hours out, although 2, 3, 4, 5, hard to tell. There aren't that many distinguishing landmarks out of the mountains. It's really just trees and a long path. So, you having a fun time, Nick?
Malachi's just like praying in the back.
Okay. You want to do a religion check?
No, not right now.
Okie doke.
Just more like a meditation. I'll roll when I need it.
Okie doke. Well, the pathway is pretty clear forward. That holdup did cost you like 15, 20 minutes. So, a little annoying, but you're back on the path. It's about 7 a.m. You've been technically traveling for 3.5 hours. So you made pretty good progress. About to do more. I love math. Yes. Yep, okay. Done. The math is. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So, after a little bit more writing, thankfully no more interruptions. There's an average like commoner guy walking around every now and again. A little peasantry, whatever they're doing. A couple of hikers. They pretty much steer clear of your convoy because you're pretty intimidating at this point. You do pass what appears to be a military convoy. Soldiers wearing outfits from Greek, and they get you to clear the way.
Clear the way.
Get away, indeed. It's a pretty serious convoy. It looks like 4 or 5 wagons with a bunch of foot soldiers on either side. Similar wagons to what Lucine had, similar production. But they pass by.
There's too many names. Which one's Greek?
Greek
We
is
haven't
the
been there
city
yet.
to the south. You've not been there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, look at this guy not having his own personal copy of the map
Yep. Full of a toque.
Close to
with annotated sketches.
Yep.
it's the port.
It is a port. Southern port of Mandrill. Southernmost port of so it's a little bit more riding / walking / carting. But around 7:30, the forest opens up. You begin making your way downhill, and you see a familiar sight of a little farming town in the distance. It appears that Namir is just out of sight. Making your way downtown.
Walking fast.
Yep.
I'm home now.
The whole party's just singing this as we
A
go.
carpet bomb
Absolutely.
wipes us all out.
Absolutely. Ooh, you know what? I need to check my timeline. Funny
Are we there yet?
check my funny timeline.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
I'm checking my funny timeline.
Are we there yet?
Also the answer.
Are we there yet?
Nope.
Little kid in White Grove. Are we there yet? I need to check my funny timeline. The answer's no.
What do I have written? This is really a moment where I have like 4 documents and try to figure out where it's written. Alright. So that's then. What even is today's date? Oh, we have like plenty of time.
It's Monday, right?
It is Monday morning on June 28th.
Oh.
And yeah, reading my funny schedule. My funny schedule is important because things happen. Making sure.
I'm now gonna set birthdays for my characters and let you know when they come up.
Excellent. Alright. There we go. Okay, cool, I'm good. I just need to pull up the map. And the funny thing is, I did this like 3 weeks ago. It's gonna be funny if I didn't. I gotta pull up the name here. It's just as I left it, except completely different. Giant hole in the ground. Beautiful. Oh god. Fix it. Good. Appreciate it. Okay. Perfect. Basically. Alright, now comes a part where I kind of have to like recreate the entire. No, I could just import, verify this. I could just do what's this. It's bad.
That was like Fortnite, but like faster.
Was like, hey, look guys, it's Meteor.
Well, this place looks familiar.
It is familiar. You're back after all this time.
We'll be hailed as heroes.
You'll be hailed as heroes.
Anyway, so you walk into the front gate, everybody's dead.
Every single person.
Except for the funny guy.
All right,
Damn, the mayor owes me 2 gold.
You're coming in from the north, which there isn't even a north path here, so technically to go to Namir, you're going to have to come in from the north and then go this way into the village.
No!
2 horses. 4 horses will just stand in for Samuel. Kingo, Ringo, Bingo,
Ringo.
Bongo.
Sued by the Beatles.
Raven is Bing Bong.
This is where Trevor's going to send us a message saying, please get rid of party members.
Kill that party. There's too many parties. I don't think I ever added. I did add credit.
You saved Crenshaw, but not Samuel?
Samuel's not real though. So.
Crenshaw is riding a horse. Fantosh is on the front of the wagon.
That's true.
It's a good thing I remembered Samuel.
Good thing. So you guys ride into town. You come from the north road and then you veer off through the fields to the entrance of the city. And it's morning and it's past dawn, so the farmers are at work in the fields. The tabaxi as well as the Hanku are managing their plots. And you roll into town and you look very different from when you were first here. So, and, I mean, the people leading, the only one that's even familiar is Garager. So,
oh, I read that as chainsaw. I was like, yo, when did we get a chainsaw?
You read as chainsaw?
Crenshaw.
Oh, Crenshaw. Okay, that makes sense.
It has the same shape.
It does have the same shape. So you guys ride into town, and people eye you up. So,
and like some of the letters are right.
Your deal is, but
You don't recognize any of us?
Probably not.
Not
The
a single one of
crazy
these
blue
farmers
creature
cared
guy?
us about it.
Oh yeah, you are going to the town center, right? 'Cause technically, you can do whatever you want. I was just.
We're
on
going
autopilot.
shopping.
I'm on autopilot here, so.
No, we were gonna pass Damir right to Cunning Grave. Like, what are you doing, man?
Alright. Yeah. Please tell me the actual answer.
Not
Yeah,
what
yeah,
Jacob
sure.
said.
Okay. Not what Jacob said.
Yeah, we're going to the center of this place.
Okay, cool.
I
Not
said
just-
we're passing it, so not that.
So not just autopiloting to the end of the game.
Just give me an answer, please.
Going to the
just
center.
did.
Alright.
Go to
Yeah,
the
we'll
thing.
go to
Go to the thing.
Information.
Go
Well,
to
well,
the thing.
down the way.
Go to the
We
thing.
go to the city square where the markets are.
And we're gonna sell all our wares.
You should also look for stables.
Should look for.
Me and Samuel are inseparable.
So what are you doing? You're in the city square. There's some.
I need to go
Tabaxi
find the
and
mayor.
Kenku that are shopping. You can go.
I think someone else needs to find the mayor as well.
Who else needs to find the mayor?
Cagliari would go with him to find the mayor.
All right.
I think the further person found the mayor.
Cagliari
And we'll
better
take
than
Meteor
me.
with us, who you didn't spawn in.
I didn't spawn in Meteor. I was forgetting the most important guy. The most
And
legendary
spawning
guy.
dog. Come on.
Dog is sleeping. Dog has been sleeping in the cart, recovering from his acid wounds. We're not putting him in the front lines anymore.
He's just
Dog
he's
is
on
dead.
top of Dweeby
Sometimes
underneath
dogs
the
just
cart.
get old and
Alright.
then just go to sleep.
So you guys,
Oh no!
you guys want to park the wagon off the main road? We'll go
All right,
with this.
Warhorse, I trust you.
And then, Crenshaw, I guess we'll just tie the horses up off the road. There we go. Perfect. Flawless.
Samuel's looking a little different.
Everything's been tied up.
So, since we're in a town, do you think we can sell some of these horses?
Fairly certain they would sell pretty well. They're
Not
carriage
Samuel.
horses, which means they'd be fairly good at plowing.
Okay. I would like to pursue that venture.
Alright, well.
So I cannot stress this enough. Don't sell Night Fury.
Are you still here?
Yeah, we can wait to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if I wasn't, that was beamed into your head.
Okay, so I'm taking the other two horses
Other
then.
two horses. Alright. Cool.
Do they have
Crenshaw.
names?
Horse
Crenshaw
and horse.
does not know their names because he was not with their wagon.
Okay. Well,
Here, choose a number 1 through 8.
2 and 7.
Ooh, Luminous Midnight and Big O.
Big O? Oh my gosh. Loser.
You want to know what number 6 is?
Yeah, what's 6?
Little guy.
Great. Not Big Foul.
Nah, I hate Big
Okay.
O.
Come on,
It's the
Luminous
worst.
Midnight. Come on, Big O.
Yes!
It worked. Alright, well, Malakai is taking horses into the market square.
It's gonna be great when you sell them and be like, yeah, these are the horses' name, and they never respond to that once.
Yeah. Alright, so we have Meteor, Grouger, and Cagliari going to find the mayor, right?
We're off to
Yeah.
see the mayor
Malakai,
of
who's going to be
Nemir.
selling
'Cause
horses.
he's the
Does
mayor, the
anyone want to do
mayor,
anything
the
else?
mayor in Nemir. We're off to see the wizard,
Crenshaw's
the
just going
mayor.
to stay with the wagon and tend to the horses.
I'll go with the others to look for the mayor.
Who goes with the others to look for the mayor?
We're off to see the mayor, the wonderful mayor.
Where's
Okay.
Van Tash going?
I'll just chill in the cart.
Yep.
I'm not playing 2 characters at the same time.
Yeah, that's good. Alright, what's Kingy doing? Julianne?
Huh? What?
What's Kingy doing?
Sleeping.
Okay. Are you tired in real life?
I'm tired in real life.
Okay,
yes, sorry.
Kingy's still sleeping. A little guy, he can rest. Alright. Well, let us start with Malakai. Because this is going to be interesting. Hit it.
Hello, people of Namir. As you can see behind me, I have 2 quality, well-bred, strong horses. And They are available for sale. I wonder. Let me see. How much does a horse usually go for?
Starting price, 5 gold, 5 gold, going on 5 gold. I got 6 gold, 6 gold.
They're based on the war horse, which is
I don't think a single person in this town even has that money.
nope.
There's 75 gold pieces.
50 gold for a draft horse.
The mayor, who I'm assuming you're paying me, is not paying anywhere close to that number.
So 50 or 75? Wait, 50?
50 for a draft horse.
Okay. All right. I'll start the bidding at 30 gold pieces.
Dead silence.
Come on. 30 gold. You all can afford it.
Everyone audibly laughs.
Oh dear, is that a lot for you?
Yo, classic.
The
You telling
Kenku,
me
And the crowd is lost.
the Kenku farmer goes up and goes, "Is that a lot for you?"
Banana, Michael. How much?
For
would it
me,
cost?
obviously, they're
$10.
my horses.
How much money do you need a week? Like 80?
All right. Let's start bidding. How about we start at? I'll go even lower.
For the both of them? The
Oh,
tabaxi
you'd
farmer
like a
speaks up.
package deal?
No, I'm
All right.
asking if I can buy them individually.
Oh, yes, you can buy them individually. How much would you like to pay?
I'm good.
Make me a deal.
What a legendary man. Can I buy him individually? Yeah. Alright, I'm out. See ya.
He walks away.
I just wanted to know.
Now you're just surrounded by Kenku. And
Oh,
old
dear.
tabaxi who are just backing away from you.
Please, make me a deal. They're
Can I buy them
wonderful.
individually? Can I buy them individually?
You're about to get cyberbullied, but in like real life.
Yes, you may.
lot for you?
I spilled water on myself.
Um,
Poor man.
They're laughing like ravens laugh.
You're sitting there laughing like racists. I was about to be like, what does that
I'm gonna,
even mean?
I'm gonna follow the tabaxi.
Of course you are.
Oh no.
Great. You gotta go get him because I come out and put him in the void.
Ah!
He rolled a really good stealth check. He's gone.
Nordle was down there. Nah, he's just walking down the path.
Dordle. Jeez.
But yeah, what a hero, right?
The whole campaign
plays
is
Wordle.
just Sugar Stallion beaming people in and out of existence to interact with us.
It's all a chess game, and Sugar Stallion's the other opponent.
Sir, you asked about the horses. You seem quite
Uh,
interested.
I don't have money, man.
How much have you got? Perhaps we can make a
You good, dude?
deal. Perhaps we can make a deal, a bargain of some sort.
Approaches the man in an alley. How much money do you have?
The guy goes, "Listen, Matt, I don't really got that much spare change. I can do like 8 gold."
All right. Do you have anything else you can I'm
Give me
sure
your
you have
house.
something of worth, of value.
Like my house?
Now, if that would put you out of house and home, I would not.
Would giving
but-
up my house put me out of house and home? Yeah, jackass, it would.
Well, no, I'm not saying that I would take your house.
saying that I would take your house.
I'm saying that you could give me the deed, and
Buzz off.
if anything were to happen
He
to you,
leaves.
I'm joking. It was a joke. Is that not how you commoners joke?
Called them commoners, yikers.
How much you got in
Come
your
on.
wallet? Oh, not much. Okay, what else do you have on you?
The two old
about your phone?
Kenku fell you back and go,
Come
"Is
on,
that a
Luminous
lot for
Midnight.
you?
Come on, Big O.
You got a phone? You got a watch?
Is that a lot
Huh?
for you?"
Is that a lot for you?
All right, fine. I'll lower the price. You all set the price. They're brilliant workhorses, honestly.
3 berries. 2 piles of horse dung.
While these are all wonderful um, options for payment, unfortunately, I do not deal in that currency.
I know what a wonderful option for payment is. Buzz off.
Do you have credit?
Are there any farmers working the land?
There are farmers working the land, but you would have to go to where the land is that is being
Can I
worked.
give them a live demonstration?
You want to go to the farmers to give. Okay, you're gonna have to do a long walk. Malakai's going on a whole side quest here to where the farmers are working. You pass a silo. There's a field. Yeah. Are you doing this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you find a
I'm
tabaxi.
trying to be of use to my team
You
and
find
make
a
money.
you find a tabaxi working the field, plowing.
Does he have like a rig, or is he physically
No,
plowing
he's
himself?
got a rig. He's got a little rig.
Oh, but he doesn't have any horses.
No, he's just got a hand rig.
So I pause and I stop him and say, "Hello, sir. If I may,"
What?
and I take one horse and I'll take Big O
Okay.
and
He's got to
connect
go.
him
Gotta go.
connect him to the plow,
Okay.
and I lead the horse through the paces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and so he's plowing.
Yeah, make a
Ah.
nature check.
Mm-hmm.
Just destroy this man's field.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call on that prayer now.
Go ahead.
Oh, I could have given you like a huge boost earlier.
That was a 13 for a nature check.
Okay. Great. Well, you somehow managed to convince him that this must be some alternate technique. And for a while, he's on board. And then he sees you trying to hook up a hand plow to a horse, and he concludes that you are an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "You know that's a hand plow, right? You
No,
can't you can't use a horse on a hand
what
plow."
I deal in, my dear man, is not materials. I deal in dreams. And what I'm selling you is the possibility of so much more. For now, it's a hand plow, but perhaps we make it larger. We make it something that can harvest even more
Two
crops and plow even more at one time.
Then you can
Make a
industrialize.
persuasion roll. Smarmer.
And then once you industrialize, you'll have many farms. And you'll be rolling in dough.
I got 14.
What do you want for it?
I would like to work with the people. What can you offer? What can you offer?
I don't know, like 10 gold.
I'll take it.
All right.
How the mighty have fallen.
10 gold. He just goes, "This thing is trained, right?"
Absolutely. But what crops are these that you have?
That's a lot.
You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want
No, no,
to.
no, no. It's fine. All sales up final, and I ride off on the other horse.
Sales are final. No refunds. Books it. We are getting thrown out of this place fast.
All right.
I'm not even gonna get paid.
I'm gonna pause there and go back to the group who wants to find the mayor.
Meanwhile, back in the spaghetti western,
Back on the spaghetti western. What do we got?
we're off to see the mayor, the biggest building in the village.
Well, you'll never believe it, but this building is labeled mayor's office. This one right
What?
here. Crazy.
I don't believe it.
We go right there.
Go right there.
You
All
know, you told me I won't believe it, and I thought I thought I would believe you, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You open the door, and you strut in, and there's a goblin behind a desk, and he goes,
What their
"Hello.
name could be. We're here to see the mayor.
Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
Are you Gregors?"
Yep.
What deception check?
Which I keep forgetting it's alphabetical order. Oh, I'm pretty much 10? Yikes.
You're
Wow.
Mr. McGregor's,
Pretty much.
the Tabaxi landowner.
Yeah, I got a race change.
I have a skin condition.
If you want to see the mayor, you need an appointment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go up to
Meteor
I'm gonna do
steps
it and go.
in. No,
I'm gonna do distract this guy.
Meteor steps in, and then the goblin goes, "Is that the Meteor?"
Yes.
I'm Meteor. I remember you, and you, and you.
That's why I said we have an appointment. Now let us in.
You don't have an appointment. Why did
Definitely
you just tell
do.
me that you were the Ugh.
You know he's
walks
having an
in,
appointment when he's around, right?
and he opens the door and he says, "Go, go."
I'm already inside.
All right. Roger walks in, and the mayor says, "No, hello. I was told I heard some commotion out there. This was crazy. It's you."
Yo.
So
The door is now broken.
and of course that is the meteor. Of course, yes, this is the thing. Yes, right. How are you?
It's fine, there were some complications on the mission, but
It's
we're
been
here
a
back.
while.
We're back.
How long has it been?
I honestly can't tell you.
I can't either. It's been so long.
Been like a month because we
ended up in a different
Right.
dimension.
Right.
Yeah,
There was a little more at foot than
Yeah,
just
you know.
people in the woods eating people, but
right.
Long
That
story.
is
that's
right.
fine. You don't have to pay more.
Okay, because of the eating people in the woods. Right. Yes, I remember
I
this.
dealt with them, by the way. I
Oh,
figured
I'm
it out.
glad. Good.
There were people in the woods eating people.
Okay, that is what I had hired you to do.
And they've all been arrested
Very good.
and
I am
carted off.
glad.
Very
And I believe
good.
I paid you for that, yes?
You gave me half the payment.
Right. And remind me what was half of that was how much did I
Just go back to my notes.
I believe I had it written down, but I'd have to consult Jesse.
There was a 50-pound bucket of copper that we left.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was.
Noted. We need to go back for that.
Yeah, you needed it.
It's in Shadowfell.
Yeah, go
It's
back.
copper. You know
Go
how
back.
what? That's
Go back. You need
ketamine for nothing.
it. You need it.
Yeah, open up one of
It's
the
100
skeleton
in
portals.
total.
Shadowfell.
Oh, by
Open
the
up one of the
way,
skeleton portals. Scott.
Grudger, the mayor has been very uncomfortable ever since you've walked in the room.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but he just seems a little off.
It's because he doesn't want to pay
Insight
me.
So,
Yeah, hit him with my passive insight of 13.
Yeah, I did. That's what I just told you based on that.
I know, and that's what I hit him with.
Okay, cool.
That was for everybody else.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, 50 gold.
Oh, 50 gold. Yeah, so I paid you 25, right? So I owe you 25.
No. It was you still owe me 50 gold. It was 100 in total.
That seemed like a lot. Let me get Jesse to consult what I paid. Jesse.
It's gonna be interesting to
might
even
know what's going
like
on here,
that's
but Kelly
not
already
getting
knows
in the
that, so
window.
it's fine.
Jesse goes and he says, yes, he goes, do you have the records for what I paid, Roger? Yes. Do you have the records for what I paid, Roger?
I'm about to go chaotic neutral.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I could find them. Hold on. And then he goes and starts reckoning through, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was 10 gold. So I'm gonna say it was 10 gold. There he goes. It was 10 gold. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to shoot a little high. Well, we'll just give the other 10. One moment here, and then he goes to open up one of his drawer, and he goes, wrong key. And he opens it up, and And he pulls out this little handful of gold and goes, right, here you go for your services. Thank you. Very good.
Thanks.
Anything else?
He's acting very suspicious, right?
I don't know. What's your insight?
I rolled for it because I thought everyone knew that one thing. My passive insight is 8. I rolled like 7.
You rolled a 7? Well, that's not getting you anything.
So what's going on with you? And now I roll insight,
Okay,
and I'm
great.
cracked at it, so I got a
Great.
14.
Great. Well, he rolls and he says, things have been, oh wow, that's a 1. He goes, things have been really busy, you know, with the town, and ever since
You're a liar.
the he goes, what?
What's
Excuse
really
me?
going on here?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm the world's greatest detective. You think you can really just get by me?
I don't understand. What are you saying?
Listen, you either tell me now or I report you to the authorities.
What is there to tell?
You know.
I know nothing.
I'm looking into his soul. I've stabbed a man 55 times.
He's getting very scared.
I roll for intimidation.
Okay.
Did I win?
What did you roll?
16.
He's scared. What are you saying to him?
Now tell me what's really going on here.
Well, I don't know what you mean. You need to elaborate. What are you
Why
saying?
did you pay me less than you promised?
I consulted the records. That's what it is. What it was paid for.
You know the records are wrong.
Listen, how about you said 50? I'll give you 50, and I'll give you the 40 left, and then we'll just call it, and we'll just leave it at that.
And why didn't you do that in the first place?
Well, I thought of the records. I thought it sounded too much, but I won't fight if you have it in your records and you did a good job. So we could just leave it at that. Is that what you're worried about?
This man's suspicious. Meteor, we're leaving.
But he said give money?
I've already left.
Okay. Well, I could still give you the 40 gold if for either of you if
Somebody get my money.
Oh, yes.
You do owe me money.
Oh, yes, I do, for the thing that we were employed for. Yes. Remind me again. How did that go?
What do you think you hired me for?
Well, I just want to make sure that you did the job that I hired you to do.
Yes, I killed him.
Oh, what? He rolls insight. Roll for deception.
This man's gonna get melted.
17.
Oh, good. Let's keep that on the down low now, and yes, I'll just give you the 40 gold then, and we'll just leave it at that. Yes.
That should cover it.
Oh, very
And
good.
I'm the
Very
king
good.
of the lair.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
just gonna take the money and leave.
okay. Have a nice day.
Roger, he didn't know what he hired me for, man. He thought he hired me to kill someone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's something going on here.
There's something weird going on here.
A mystery's afoot.
There's a mystery afoot.
Jesse walks up.
I think that's your department. Who are you?
Let's go. Yeah, who are you?
Secretary.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
What's going on around here?
I would like to talk to you about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, like the air, the aura of intimidation's immediately gone.
He beckons
Gone.
for you to
He's
get out.
vanished.
Okay.
Right. And as you walk out the door, he peeks into the mayor's room and says, "I'm taking a quick snack break." And the mayor says, "Oh yes, very good. Oh fine. Be back soon."
It's not up to regulation. Snack breaks.
Okay.
This place
Alright.
unionized.
Jesse leaves. Then he goes.
Just sprints.
He starts running, and he's back.
After that goblin.
He's like light jogging. He's not very fast. But he
I
just
activate
beckons
quadruple
over.
dash.
And then he goes into the church.
His legs are moving like Mr. Krabs'
Alright,
legs.
actually, he
like-
goes here. Are you following him into the church?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yes.
you follow him into the church. He goes, "Okay."
Do I melt?
No, you don't melt. He goes,
Very good.
Okay, we can talk here. Oh, Father Bird. Bird.
Interesting. Interesting development here.
Jesse goes, Father Bird feels the same way. And we haven't had anyone to talk to about it, but we're concerned for the mayor.
Like secret Miley Cyrus fans.
All right, Jesse said, come sit.
I'm just gonna stand.
Okay. Meteor says, I don't know what happened. I remember I fell here.
That's good.
I got hurt. My arm didn't work.
Yep.
That felt like long ago. In the
It's
old
like
day. That was
cleaning
a
the
good
counter.
day. So,
Whose mic is in the tumble
it's
dryer?
definitely John. Alright, so...
The other John.
The other John, yeah. You lost your John privileges, Freeland.
Wait, what I do?
Your mic was going...
Oh,
Yeah.
it was right next to a bowl. Sorry.
Nice. Alright, so you guys just standing awkwardly at the back.
If
I'm
we can
standing
get past these
cool,
people,
like-
I'm just gonna vault over the back of the pew to sit in it.
Yep, nice.
Yeah, I rolled high for my cool stats, so I'm looking cool right now.
Yucky. Alright, so Jesse says, I've worked with the mayor for 2 years. And he's a pretty slow guy. Not stupid. Slow, like very slow to speak, slow to
Deliberate.
anger. Yes. And about a month ago, pretty much after you guys left, he started getting weird. Well, he disappeared for a day, and I thought, well, that was weird. And then when he came back, he just said he was on a walk and he got lost. And then I said, what do you mean you got lost? I just got lost. And I got lost where? And he said, by the river. And I said, why did you get lost by that? Couldn't you follow the river? And he said, I just got lost in the forest fronts because I started from the river. And I didn't understand what he was saying. And he's lived here well, he told me that he lived here for so long that I don't know how he could get lost unless he just walked in the forest. Anyway, it was weird. So that was one day pretty soon after you guys left. And then, ever since then, he's been talking differently. He's been talking faster. He's been asking a lot of questions. He seems to have memory problems. I don't know if he got, hit in the head or something, but... weird.
Very interesting. What does the mayor do in his free time?
Well, he likes woodworking, which I haven't seen him do much recently. Maybe he got tired of it. I don't really know. He's done a little bit. Well, okay, no, that's not true. The other week, he was working on a little wooden canoe.
Boomerang.
Wasn't as good as, I don't know. I feel like he was really good at it, but he was trying to make a canoe, and it just seemed okay.
Curious.
I don't know. That's the only hobby I really know he has. We don't really hang out much outside of work.
Where's the mayor live?
I mean, he lives. Oh, he does. He lives above his office.
Good to know. Good to know. That wouldn't have worked. I'm gonna cross something out of my book. Okay. Are there any other concerns, or is it just that the mayor's been acting weird?
It's just
Anybody
that
else
he's-
been acting weird? Any disappearances?
No, the
People
mayor
doing
was...
shady things?
No, most people keep to themselves in this
New
town.
lovers?
No. Bird has a lover.
Oh no! Okay.
Bird kidding.
Okay.
Bird,
Sorry about that, man.
Bird make joke. Joke funny. Bird agree with Goblin. Jesse. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Act strangely, mate. Think he hit his head.
Yeah,
Yoda moment.
he seems to have lost his morals or something too. I
Bird.
convinced him he paid me to kill someone, and he just went along with it.
Huh. That's not Right.
That's what I said.
And I heard. Well, well, he did hire Grouger to deal with you know who, but that was warranted. Nah, he doesn't hire mercenaries. He just protects the town.
Yeah, the greatest detective in the world.
Yeah, he actually hired me to protect all these guys, so I buy that.
Yeah. He just seems to not remember things very well anymore.
Huh.
I wonder if he's
Doesn't
ill.
We have a healer, but I don't know if he would specify in that sort of thing. He's also a little bit weird himself. Oh, he's actually right behind me. Hey, dude, are you good?
Huh?
Could you fix something like that?
I could try.
He could
Roll
try.
for try.
I would need to be like close to him though.
You
What?
won't.
Can't do like ranged try?
I guess I can be within like sight distance of him.
I don't think that's gonna fix that.
So,
Okay.
you guys know what to do about this?
Well, we're gonna have to set up a stakeout, a mandatory watch, probably be on shifts. I'm gonna start talking to the Founds, but seeing if they've seen anything weird. It's a full-on investigation here. I feel like something more nefarious is going on. I am pretty much the most world's elitist detective. That is not what that word means.
That's funny. Alright. Well, guess he says, okay, I don't have money to pay you because the money I could offer you would come from the mayors.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's wronged me, and I'll take that
Unless
personally.
he offered Grodger like a whole bunch of money, he already overpaid us, so it's fine.
He offered me a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
Comparatively.
the other thing. He has not been that good as a treasurer. The accounts aren't lining up. As a secretary, I keep track of our income, which is mostly from the inn, which we tax nightly, and then it's just the running expenses of the mayor's office. We don't really have that many sources of revenue, aside from the little tribute we get from the towns, but they've been making all of their payments. I've watched them walk in the door and pay, and yet somehow money's going missing. So I feel like he might be doing something else with all of that. Maybe that's why he's acting weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not like him to do that.
I agree. All right, well, I'll start the investigation.
Okay.
And now we start the case of the really weird mayor. And it's like Sly Cooper and the gang in The Rough Time Down Under.
Would like Bird to pray for you?
What?
Would you like Bird to pray for you?
You do you.
I thought you said play like an instrument.
A bird play organ.
Oh yeah, I'm good.
So,
Well,
Sure.
Bird pray. Bird begins speaking in the most elaborate, eloquently spoken Elvish prayer you have ever heard. He begins, as Groger can tell, calling for peace in the forest, peace in the land, tranquility with nature, and oneness of self, and then appeals to the various elven gods of nature and the divine, and eventually circles back to Bahamut, of course, classic, and begins praying that his favor be upon the party and that guidance be provided in this trying time. And then he opens his eyes.
Okay.
Nice.
Please donate.
Flick a coin his way, I guess.
Good. I don't have much money.
Don't have to.
Ding!
Okay.
He said,
you're
"Please."
giving-
I mean, he
you're
can't
giving him
not
a-
when he said,
You're
"Please."
giving him a golden coin.
An entire gold coin.
Cool. Weird say. Thank you, kind sir.
Alright, as I start, I start to leave.
All right. Oh,
Right,
Jesse
I'll be
says,
here.
before you go,
Yeah.
we did not have this conversation. And then he
What conversation?
stampers out the door before you.
Yo, that was weird. Was that goblin here the entire time?
I don't know. What were we in here for?
I don't remember.
Bird
I
prey.
don't know.
All that happened.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Bird.
Alright, we gotta meet up with the squad now. As
Meanwhile, back on the
Yeah.
ranch, Malakai, door-to-door horse salesman. What are you trying now?
I'm going back to the town square.
Okay. Classic.
Sounded like you said clown square, and that makes sense.
That makes more
He
sense.
is the clown. Here is the square. Right?
And those farmers up there, I hadn't talked to them before, I don't think.
You had not.
I say I've got a gray horse. Great. Fantastic horse.
Oh, he's
Needs
going with us again?
a new home.
Yeah, we'll take him.
Oh, okay. How much are you willing to pay for it?
Oh, we gotta pay? I thought you were giving him.
I just ride on the horse and go back to the others.
Brilliant.
And I'm just muttering about the poverty of people.
Having trouble.
Uh, yes, I hate this town. It's brought me nothing but frustration.
Not a working man, are you?
I work, just not this sort.
This white collar elitist. Meanwhile, the goof troop. We back.
Oh, good to see you all. And I turn over 10 gold pieces.
Oh, good.
I don't know who is the keeper of party funds, or if you have been keeping party funds,
You could
but I
just
would like to suggest.
doesn't matter.
Oh, in which case I will hold on to it then. For the party, of course.
Of
Mm-hmm.
course.
Dude, penny pinching SMH.
We
Yes.
got another job,
Sort of.
sorta.
A paid one?
Oh, a little bit. I mean, so far.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah. Paid.
Oh, I got 40 gold from the mayor. I mean, not exactly the paying that would be from the. It works. It works out. Anyway, something's wrong with the mayor. So
I don't think you remember I fell from Skyboat.
Wait, I don't understand. How could you
did-
forget someone like Meteor?
He didn't say hi to me.
That's very strange.
I remember.
he didn't remember what he hired me for.
I
He
remember
didn't seem to remember what he hired Roger for.
He talked to him after I fell and got hurt, and he said, I forget what he said, but he didn't say hi to me.
Hmm.
I think
What do you?
I think he tired.
I don't know. Um, Perhaps he's under some sort of spell, or
Magic.
His
s-
assistant told us it started about a month ago, so it would have had to be a very long-lasting spell.
It magic spell.
unless the person who's doing it is nearby and is
That's
renewing it.
possible.
So it is magic.
Are you able to detect that sort of thing?
If I get close enough, I suppose Ventosh or I, or perhaps even Cagliari, you could we could sense if there's any arcane activity about. Certainly. But if there's a problem with his memory, I could check.
Is
Okay.
that magic?
Yes. Yes. It's all magic.
Ah, magic weird. You can do everything.
Just about.
I
And
want
I
to
look at
learn
the shop.
magic.
That's how some of us work. And I immediately apologize. That was sharper than I meant to.
I didn't even hear what he said.
Good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so do we see this mayor now? Or do you have a plan in case it turns out?
Yeah, what I do? What plan?
Didn't get that far. I mean, we just had the meeting. I didn't come up with anything. You come up with anything, Roger?
All I think of is kill, but we say kill is bad.
No, this time we're gonna stake him out. I'm gonna go talk to the locals and see if I can scrounge up any information. Subtly, of course.
Kai
I am in
I
no
disappear.
Grudge leaves for Meteor to come. Then what I do?
Perhaps he would like to buy a horse.
Me want by horse? We already have horse.
No, the mayor.
The mayor?
He-
But he big.
Honestly-
He big like me, and you say me her horse.
If you
Right.
go in there and you ask him, and you tell him that he offered to buy a horse from you, he'd probably go along with it.
Well, maybe that might be a good opportunity for me to check his mind.
You think I can tell him I'm mayor and he believe me?
Probably not.
Oh, I think that'd be funny. Then I could be the big guy.
You're already our big guy.
Yeah, I'm big guy.
Come on.
Hey, small man, big guy here.
Oh, big man on campus. Oh, big man on campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to go try it. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Um,
You're gonna sell my horse, aren't you?
Would anyone like to accompany me, or well, perhaps someone who's not been seen before, or
Sure, I'll come with.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, pretty funny.
okay.
All right, enter into the mayor's. Are you bringing the horse with you?
I leave the horse outside.
Okay.
No, bring the horse inside. It's
That'd be fun.
funnier
That
that
would be
way.
Click, click,
Eh.
click, 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 click. I'm here to see the mayor.
You walk in. Someone says,
I approach Jesse.
"Hello, do you have an appointment?"
I pull out my certificate of pedigree,
That's not an
And-
appointment.
and I say, "I would like to see your boss, please."
Okay, but what if you don't have an appointment? Okay, I'll ask.
All right.
You have a name?
This goblin's really acting like this other person's showing up to their appointment.
Lumiere.
Uh-huh. So he goes, Mr. Mayor? Yes? We have a Lumiere? Send, do they have an appointment? No. No, I have time. Send them in. Okay. He has time. Go in.
No.
Yes. Thank you so much for your help.
Uh-huh. Oh gosh. Hello,
Yeah?
sir. How can I help you?
You said he was Leonin.
Yes, he
Is-
is. He is.
I greet him in Leonin.
Oh, very, very fine, very nice. Hello to you as well. But let's keep it in common for simplicity's sake.
Oh yes, this was merely to show you respect.
Yes, yes, of course.
I've just been exploring your beautiful town,
Yeah.
along with with my friend Kingy here.
Oh, hello, good to meet you.
Pleasure's mine.
What we have noticed is that, as beautiful as it is, there's a definite lack of one major resource:
No.
horses.
Oh, yes, we have trouble getting them.
I have a fine specimen just outside, and I'm pretty sure I can procure some more for you.
Breedable?
If you... Huh?
Submissive, even.
Uh-oh.
Who would enjoy it?
And this is why we don't bring Kingy anywhere.
This is why Kinky stays in the wagon.
me.
This is why Kinky stays in the wagon.
I heard breedable and my eyes bulged out of my head. What is wrong with me?
The internet.
Why?
For a second, I thought it was the mayor who said that. I was like, huh?
Alright. Well, tough cocktail through the window. It's the only way.
So?
I thought you said like eatable at first. So I was like,
no.
okay.
Better.
Which, if you would like to, just inspect the product, and we might be able to supply you some.
Yes, maybe I would. Yes, that's a good idea. Is it outside?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
I would like to see it.
And as he's walking past me, I start doing the motions for detect thoughts.
Oh, what if I snuck into his office?
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? What does this guy want? Does this guy have a horse? A horse? Oh, it's a lovely horse.
Kingy, if you wouldn't mind just talking to him about the horse.
Oh, yes. Tell me.
It's got 4 legs and it's got a tail.
Okay, no duh.
It's a great
Yes,
steed.
yes.
We rode it for miles and
Really?
it's-
This guy's full of
yes.
crap. Interesting, yes.
and it's very strong and versatile and
Really?
it's very well kept.
I'm
Here.
being conned. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Very good.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
So before, how rude of me to just jump straight into business.
No, yes.
You may have heard my last name, Delumiere.
Yes, of course, the Lumieres. I've heard it, but I couldn't quite sound familiar though.
Yes, the former family of Lucine.
Oh, I see. Very good. Very good.
Yes. And our family goes far back into the history of
Yes.
Lucine.
Of course.
But I'm not sure.
Crap.
Preeminent.
Oh, yes.
As preeminent as you are, somehow I don't seem to recall. How long have you been mayor?
Oh, crap. Does he know? No, he doesn't know. I've been mayor for many years of this time.
How many years?
Oh,
I seem to recall in my travels hearing of a lunatic.
Crap.
But I don't.
He said the old guy was 14. He was 14. And it was 14. The old guy was 14. It was 14 years, I believe.
Interesting.
Get him.
Okay. Well.
Ooh, yo, I'm good. Okay. Ooh. Oh, yes.
Well,
indeed, it's been a long tenure. Indeed, yes.
I know you've had a lot to do today, so I'll take the horse, and you take some time to think about it, and I'll return.
Very good. Yes, good idea. I'll think long and hard.
Should I come back and look for you? One will be appropriate.
No, it'll be fine.
One would be appropriate.
No, it's not necessary. But if we do, if I do wish to take up the deal, I will simply inform Jesse, and then he can inform you when you come in whether or not we'll take it. He'll let you. That'll do it.
I start saying, I think you want to tell me the truth as I cast suggestion.
Okay.
Shoot him.
The truth about what?
Leg.
I think you want to tell me exactly what it is that you're hiding about your identity.
Okay. Do I need to roll something for that? I don't remember.
I suggest you tell me. Yes, it's a wisdom.
Trevor, I DM'd you something real quick.
You failed. Okay. Yeah, you're wrong.
Okay.
But it's gonna be really funny because you're not that wrong.
It's a wisdom save.
He failed.
Ah. Well,
Well, my identity is very complicated. I've been very careful, and I've tried to study every detail. I really have. But it's been hard. He's done so much, and he's been here for so long that I keep forgetting things. And then all these people keep showing up that I somehow know or did things with, or that he did anyway. So I gotta keep track of all of that. So really, I'm just doing my best.
and you should. You should keep doing your best.
Yes.
Because you are not the mayor.
But of course I am. I'm Mayor Leonidas. How dare you? Who do you think you are? I do not
How
even
far
know
away are
this
the
man.
How far away are the others from me?
Oh, like in earshot.
Earshot?
Oh, the Crutcher went to scour the town, so he's not.
I'm under my breath. I use message and I say, surround the building.
You're still probing his thoughts, right? Or did suggestion interrupt?
Yeah, suggestion ended it because it was a concentration spell.
I figured. Got it. Okay. Well.
So I also told Kingy.
Of course.
This is preposterous. What do you say this? You don't even know who I am.
Do we have to tell you we're moving to surround the building? Because
I mean, sorta. Like, where are you
Well,
going?
I mean, I'm already like.
Grudge,
would have
gone.
gone left around the
Yeah, 'cause
church to keep out of.
technically, the only person I couldn't tell was Grodger, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's off. Moon, do you do anything? Yeah.
I see the open space to the right there. I'm gonna go in there, just
Right here?
meander over. Yeah.
He's meandering. Alright. Meteor's confused. You tell Crenshaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy Crenshaw.
Alright. Crenshaw's
My
just
buddy
gonna walk up
Crenshaw.
with
Dab him up.
Meteor.
All right, cream cheese.
Leonidas is sweating and
All right,
wiping his
that's
brow.
my joke. Done. I'm feeling. You can't
Thanks.
steal
So
that.
I immediately use
Stab him 50 times.
Ray of Frost.
Okay.
Whoa.
Will an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
Murder this guy?
Oh, and I do 9 points of non-lethal damage, just in case.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's always a good idea. Alright, 9 you said?
Yes.
Okay. It certainly goes, and he crumbles up in a ball. He says, help, I'm being assaulted. Help me. Help me. No.
Now, tell us the truth. Who are you?
What are you doing to me? Help me. Get them off of me. I'm being attacked.
And then all the tabaxi just start running up in the
Oh.
Kenku. And,
We
what are
didn't
you
think this
doing?
through.
What are they doing?
This is official
Look at
distance
me!
sustained.
I'm a red dragon boy! Watch this! And then I proceed to use fire breath on the grass right next to me. Oh no.
Okay, the tabaxi are backpedaling and terrified, and Meteor and Crenshaw are sidestepping.
I leave
We're
the group
criminals.
for 5 minutes, and now we've
Okay,
committed
good,
real
backing up.
crime.
Kenku are backing up. The mayor's saying, help, they're attacking me!
I
I'm about to fight back,
we are
I'm a
not.
pacifist, I've been attacked!
Hey,
In a square not too far,
Yeah.
I create a duplicate of the mayor.
Okay.
I guess, are there windows upstairs?
Upstairs? Yeah, no.
Like in this build, is there an upstairs or to this building or no?
There is, but there's no windows. Not on the
Okay.
front of the building, anyway.
Okay, so I make a duplicate using minor illusion,
Okay.
and I say, "No, he's not the real mayor. The real mayor's inside. Run inside, Mr. Mayor." And I make the illusion like walk through the door, and yeah.
yeah, this guy,
Wait. So
he's an imposter.
So what's happening?
Among Us.
What is happening? Clarify. What did you just do?
So I just because I can't. It's not major illusion, so he can't
Right.
like walk.
Okay.
So I had him like in the doorway, and I said, "No, the real mayor's right there." And then I made him disappear, so it looks like he went into the building.
What?
And then I said, "This guy's an impersonator."
But the door's closed.
Oh, was it?
I mean, yeah.
But then it was open.
So what are you trying to do?
Oh, so you're saying I have to do that all over?
I don't know, because I don't understand what you're trying to do, because it's not an open doorway.
Well,
that
I
you can just
assumed the
walk in.
door was open because we just came out to look at the
No,
horse.
no.
Okay. Well,
It's got one of
scratch
those
that.
like convenience store auto closers on it.
Yeah. Just gotta bing bing close.
It's
Okay.
like super squeaky and loud, and the
Well,
door
anyway,
stutters
King
as it's
Gear
closing.
already chased the people away, so.
Yeah, they don't know what to do, but they're not happy. They're going, unhand the mayor, leave him alone, what are you doing?
We told you that's not the mayor. That's an imposter.
What evidence do you have?
Among us sus.
Because the real mayor is inside.
What? No, he's not.
That's right. He's not inside. I lied.
Get these guys out of here. They're dangerous.
He's very honest, so he wouldn't lie about
Leave me alone. They attacked me. Get them out of here. They're crazy people.
Hey, we didn't attack you.
I've been freezed by the cold. The cold
Hey,
pain. It stings.
Listen. Do you want to buy the horse or not?
No, you idiots. You've assaulted me and hurt my pride.
Listen, I'm here trying to sell the horse.
You've attacked me, you and your cohort. Get out of this town. Leave this town. You are banned from this town.
No.
The Lubiari, Kigi, both banned. Throw them out. Get them out of here.
I'm doing one more detect thoughts.
Okay.
What am I getting?
Bad words. Many
Can I-
bad words.
Can I do an intimidation?
Anger. Yeah.
Okay. 18.
Alright, what are you saying?
I walk up to him and I grab him by his shirt and I
Yep.
shake him a little bit violently and I say, "Tell us what we want to hear, goddammit!" And I slap him once.
Okay. He's scared. He starts crying. He goes, I don't know what you want to hear. Leave me alone.
I'm hearing his thoughts though.
It's a mixture of fear and anger.
I'm probing deeper. He has to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, roll more dice for us.
He's just going, they know.
Alright, so from the little corner here, I'm not gonna like step up or nothing,
Yeah.
but I am going to cast Detect Evil and Good centralized on the mayor.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. What?
And then he melts! That shows me aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, as well as where they're located. I know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of me that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
You get nothing from that.
Except for my friends that are celestial and
Yes.
celestial. Yeah.
Yes.
So the guy doesn't like glow up blue or nothing.
Nope.
Alright. I keep this to myself.
Do I start glowing?
Yeah.
Yes, you are celestial.
Merely nice.
Not like
He's
glowing,
going.
but
He's
like
preparing
green
another
juice.
attack.
Yeah, to me.
Oh, okay. Because that was gonna be really funny.
I'd like to think
Sorry.
that I'm like out in the fields right now, like talking to the field man,
If
going like,
there's
"So
a
has anything weird
tabaxi
happened?"
guy
in
near me, they
lately?"
would have heard me like mumble something.
Might be
That's it.
seeing clouds of smoke by now, Groger.
Yeah. The Kenku are yelling at you, saying,
It's
"Get out of
true.
here! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!" I don't know what more you want from me. Leave me alone. Leave this town.
Said we know. What do we know?
You know everything. Leave me
Confess.
alone. Just let me
Confess.
have this.
Let you have this. Confess.
No. I've done nothing wrong.
You've done too much wrong.
You have no evidence of anything. Hearsay. Just let me live out my life.
Where is the real mayor?
I am the real mayor.
Where is he?
I am the
I
real
am the
mayor.
law.
Where am I? What is he thinking?
Dead in the field, dead in the field, dead in the field.
Oh, God.
What did he say?
Buried, dead and buried, dead and buried.
I, the real mayor is dead and buried.
What? I'm right here.
That's not true.
What do you
I'm still
mean?
holding the mayor, correct?
50 times in the
Yes.
chest.
I shake him a little bit. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
My friend, my boss is telling me that it's not. You're my boss, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, for the horse, yes.
The horse isn't there. The horse is chilling.
It's like that dumb horse from Adventure Time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The horse is super used to us and our shenanigans. It's like, oh, it's just Monday.
It's gone.
No!
It's so jaded and
Yeah.
It's indifferent.
So yeah,
Mhm.
so I heard some weird things were happening around here. Like, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Oh yeah, I want to do this. I really want to do this. I don't know. I mean, the weird thing is, some guy just came up and sold me this horse. That I should
Oh,
start
really?
buying. Yeah, some
What do you look like?
noble idiot with white eyes and dark black hair, a blue hood, and red. I don't know.
One of those rich types, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. He must have commented on that
Oh yeah,
wagon or
is
whatever. But
is Malakai a different color?
no, what?
Is he like
Oh, wow,
human
just gonna
colored?
be
No,
racist.
I'm not one of those, Azimar.
He's just like a dude.
He's just like a white guy with white eyes.
I wasn't sure if they all had different like
Is he-
unhuman colors or
No,
not.
some of them do have different colors, it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I
you know
would
those,
know.
you
I'm,
know
like,
how it be when
burnt
like the
orange.
rich come in and then they
Yeah,
don't
just-
even
They're
they're like so disconnected from how like society is. Like they think that like, oh yeah, everybody just has like 50 gold lying around.
Yeah, it's weird.
And just buy horses or whatever.
Dang,
Well, no,
Roger,
honestly,
you
that's
be like that?
that's the first weird thing that's happened to me today. I know some people have been saying that the mayor isn't as friendly as he used to be. I don't know if something happened or whatever, but yeah, I
Yeah, I mean,
remember
it's
I had a
just-
neighbor that was
I
talking.
heard he
to him.
got like lost for like an entire day. Like that's just so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
right. He did. That was like
if like you live near here, how could you get
exactly.
lost?
That's what I
Like,
said. You know, he's a Leon, and he's not opposed to to nature. He should have a keen sense of smell at the very least. So, I don't know what.
yeah, and it's
thought
like
it
at
was
some
weird.
point, like you just walk in a direction.
Right, you just got to pick one.
You just
So
commit.
for a whole day, it was very weird. Yeah, and when he came back, it was just. I mean, I didn't really interact with him. I don't talk to the guy, but people said he just seemed off. Like shaken or something. Nervous. Maybe he saw something, and who knows.
Yeah, maybe he just wanted a day off and just didn't want to admit it.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, well, have a nice day.
Yeah, Grudge, are you here screaming from the car?
I just start like walking back, and there's this black cloud of smoke. There's screaming and commotion. I'm just like, now
After
that's
that
pretty weird.
conversation, you come back, and the Leon and Mayor's going, just let me have this.
I walk back, and I'm holding the pizzas. The house is on
The
fire.
house is on fire, yeah.
So Moon Dude is gonna walk up to Kingy and like pull him off.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's still accosting
There
the
you go.
quote unquote mayor.
I'm going over to. I'm
thank
gonna be
you.
next to the Kenkus and be like, "What is happening?"
Well, this old guy, mayor, says, I'm the real mayor. They say, you're not the real mayor. I say, this is a what?
And they start parroting the entire conversation to you.
Mmm,
Everything.
interesting.
Flawless recreation. But, like, quietly, like they're whispering it to
Yeah,
you. But
yeah,
you can
yeah.
hear everything, but it's just delayed. And they're speeding it up a bit,
It's like they
FBI.
turned down the volume.
Exactly. Turn down the volume, put it on 1.5 times speed. Alright. Anyway, the mayor says, yes, unheard me, leave this town. You've assaulted me. You've wounded my pride. You've tried to swindle me. You're nothing but troublemakers. This town is peaceful. It doesn't need you, ruckus.
I'm using 2 of my spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
Vaporizer.
Actually, I think I have to use 3 to give myself back another level 2 spell slot. And I'm going to use suggestion one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Make that wisdom save.
Actually, I might need to check. I've been doing something. No, it's 13.
Okay. Well, you failed. That's it. Mayor Leonidas, we don't want to fight.
After we've
I
already fought.
suggest that you reveal your true identity to all of these people clearly and succinctly.
Why you gotta put me in an Ian situation? You just
Well,
ask me to do the
Nick.
thing that's clearly harmful.
Well,
And
I
now
guess
that you're
is
in
that
here,
okay? I
go
see what you're
anywhere,
saying.
but
All right,
down and the ground.
let's say it this way. Fine, Mayor. I suggest you take us to where the body is, so that we can help you keep it secret.
Yes, that would be best. Things are getting out of hand.
I agree. We
Alright.
follow. We follow.
He walks away. All right. Are you guys all following him?
I'm gonna pretend like I'm not
go-
with those people.
Okay.
I'm gonna go catch up
Great.
with Roger.
Great. Crenshaw and Meteor are just gonna stick by. And Crenshaw's gonna walk up to Roger and say, "Things just got crazy."
I know they've
I walk up
really
to Roger.
sped up the investigation a lot. This is like a day 4 thing. We're on day 1.
Yeah.
So
I'm
far, I
just-
got that there was a weird rich guy selling horses. So there's now 2 groups of weird people here.
I'm pretty sure that. Never mind. All right. The mayor begins
So,
walking off.
No, you're not.
The mayor takes you past a collection of
Trevor.
lumber. What?
I'm with Roger.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yo, guys, I want to go to bed. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, we can just
I'm
end it
gonna
here. On a cliffhanger, because I definitely need to go to bed.
wrap up
Work
anything.
tomorrow.
I'm fine.
Yep.
This guy, sleepy, SMH.
Yep. All right. Well, you're walking to find the secret location of the secret body. What could it be? What could it be? Ooh, crazy, wacky, spooky, spooky, scary.
I think I accidentally figured that out immediately, but came to the wrong conclusion.
You did figure it out immediately and come to the wrong conclusion, and it was funny.
Is that green patch where Meteor fell? I love that.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Wait, so is it just me and Kingy who
You
are
and Kingy.
going?
Yep.
Oh no,
And
that's
I'm
not enough.
What if they both
stopping
get
the
murdered?
recording.
We might need backup.
Too bad. I'm stopping the recording.
I'm gonna
Giggle.
like blame myself for